Hey everybody, Chad Nobody Else's Auto, 7 o'clock Sunday evening, time for more Sunday night shenanigans we know as Sunday Night Live Chat. Looks like we've got a good group on YouTube already. X-Ray's here, Mark's on with us, Pete's here, Leo's here. Looks like we are connecting on Facebook as well. As always, we are live on two formats, both Facebook and YouTube. As you see me glancing back and forth, I'm watching two sets of comments as we go. So if you see me responding to a comment that you don't see, that's why. Alex is here with us. Frank's on. Exciting night tonight. Lots of stuff happening. You can obviously see Randy's work behind us for this month's raffle. So it's going to be a great January. We're going to kick off 2023 with a bang and get ready to have a great year. So been an exciting week, obviously, with the auction action going on this week. I've stayed plenty busy as well. Got the car guys here. Doug's on with us. And we'll go ahead and get ready to get rolling. Dennis, Mike, glad to see all the familiar names popping up back on YouTube. As always, a few things to mention like we always do. Autocorrect, please double check your autocorrect before you hit send. If your autocorrect changes your text to something that I can't comprehend, then I have to skip it and go to the next one. So please double check your autocorrect before you hit that send button. Dan's on with us. David W. from Ohio. Scott's on with us on Facebook. Withrow's here. Glad you're back, Jason. If you are on the Nobody Show page on Facebook, I cannot see those comments. This is a shared video from the Nobody Else's Auto page. You've got to check what be on the Nobody Else's Auto page on Facebook or the Nobody Show channel on YouTube if you want to comment, participate in the auctions, anything like that. So if you just want to hang out and watch, you're fine on the Nobody Show Facebook page. But I cannot see any of those comments. Dad's on with us. Joe's here. And Tweedly D answered our other question. One of the things we were going to talk about, Tweedly D got the other $20 bill. Brian Dispatch is here with us. Or Carol's on with us, his wife. Brian's had a rough couple days. Wanted to let you know he won't be on. So, obviously, everybody tell Brian we all said hi, and we're all pulling for him. So hopefully just a couple of bad days, just been a bump in the road on the way to getting better. So at least Brian's wife, Carol, jumped on with us for a few minutes to give us an update, but he won't be with us tonight, but that's right. I'm sure he'll be back by next week. Bill Wagman, hit the like button. Appreciate that. That's right. Rest in peace, Jeff Beck and Lisa Marie Presley and Robbie Knievel. That's true. That's a heck of a way to start the year. Pure Pontiac's on with us. Gail's on with us on Facebook. How many cats? There's 3 of them in here tonight. Hopefully they'll all stay out of our way. Let's see. I have not heard who got the comic book. That's the one mystery that we still have. Alex on with us on Facebook as well. Don't know. Lee from New York's here. Don't know who got the comic book, the little mini comic book from the 30s. So we now know that Tweedly D and Norma got the $20 bills that were stuffed in the magazines. Nate's here with us, and but we don't know who got the little mini comic book. So maybe somebody will fess up to that, or they didn't even think. Maybe somebody didn't. Maybe they just didn't think about it, But now we know where the mystery $20 bills went. I don't remember which box numbers they were, but because I didn't know which box numbers they were. But Tweedly D and Norma got the $20 bills. Travis is here with us. All right. Back to finish up housekeeping. Trolls, you guys are great about running trolls off. I ignore them. They want my attention. You guys are great about making sure they are not welcome. So if we get a troll on here, I'm going to ignore them. I'm going to keep doing my thing. You guys are great about taking care of them. I obviously don't want this to have to go to subscriber only or membership only to participate. So I appreciate your guys' help with the trolls. Live, Laugh, Shift is on with us again. Glad you made it back. Jim's here with us. But anyway, what else has been going on? Got a little more 39 Cadillac content coming for you. The engine is in the car. It's not completely hooked up or running, but we did physically get the engine and transmission mated back together, and the whole unit is actually sitting back in the 39 Cadillac. Good idea, Anthony. Anthony's thirsty. I'm sure everybody else is. Thanks, Carol. Appreciate you jumping on with us and giving us an update on Dispatch Brian, and we'll hopefully see him next week. Rico and Jess are here with us. So we're bringing in some content. Like I said, we still got a ways to go on it. We did physically get the transmission bolted back to the motor and got that whole thing snaked down into the car. That transmission was so long, and then that frame X is in the middle. So you've got to get, you've got to get that tranny slid down in through that center X part of the frame. So it was a little tricky, but it's all hung in there, and nothing's tightened, but everything is in there. The motor mount bolts are physically started in the holes. The transmission cross member is bolted to the transmission and physically hung in the frame with bolts. Like I said, none of it's tightened up yet, but it is all physically in the hole, and everything is started. So once as long as it looks like we've got everything, then we can finish, start snugging stuff up, start hooking up wiring, things like that, and then radiator and stuff like that. So Gary's on. Pete, I learned something every time we post a Pioneer Village video. Well, that's good. That's the whole purpose of a lot of this. Like, that's right, Ozark whip trolls with a fan belt. Good idea. But that's part of what we do here. That's part of why we share our knowledge and post this stuff up. Ken from Michigan's here. So I'm glad you guys are still enjoying the Pioneer Village videos. They don't get as many views as I thought they might. But hey, that happens. Don from Nashville's on. Randy's here. Glad you made it, Randy. So I'm glad you guys are enjoying the Pioneer Village videos. I mean, obviously, I love the place, so I'm glad that you guys are getting something out of them as well. Auburn badge. So we'll be bringing you some more. We'll be bringing you another video on the 39 Cadillac this week as far as getting that thing dropped down in there. So that will be coming up. Rocky Mountain Race Week 1.0 registration opened yesterday for all of about 90 seconds. It was sold out in 1 to 2 minutes. Some people say it sold out in less than a minute. Some people say it was up to almost 2 minutes before it sold out, but it was that fast. So Tweet the D might be going to Pioneer Village this summer. I love it. It's a great plan. So Rocky Mountain Race Week filled instantly, obviously, like it always does. Currently working with Matt on getting details finalized for Road Week. So any of you guys want to come hang out, even if you're not going to race, bring your hot rod, sign up for Road Week, roll the whole thing with us. You sign up for Road Week, you get the routes just like the racers, you get the sticker pack, you get the t-shirts, you get the swag bag, you get you get entry into all the tracks, you get everything, except you don't get to go down the track. Except for there was like Bannerman last year, we had time. They actually did let some of the road riggers make some passes if they felt like it. Pete really liked the Camaro in the background of the Monte Carlo video. I'm sure you probably did. At least I hope you did. It's yours. So since you've already paid for it, I hope you do. I hope you do. Numero uno is back. Glad you made it. Let's see. Thomas from Chicago is on with us. But anyway, so you can still sign up for Road Week. It doesn't matter how we can take as many as we want with Road Week. And you get to hang out, have a great time, and you get to do everything except be competitively race. I'm not even saying you don't get to go down the track, because there are some instances, if we have time, we're going to get Road Weekers down the track just like we did last year. Also going to do a Spirit of Road Week award this year. Anybody remember the Candyman van that we did some video content with last year from Rocky Mountain Race Week? Yeah. Top Spirit of Race Week is going to be awarded again this year for out of the Road Weekers. So keep that in mind if you're thinking about going. But obviously there will be a lot more coming out on Race Week and Road Week as we get closer to nailing everything down. But it did sell out immediately, just like everybody expected. But stay tuned. There's a lot more coming on that. We'll be talking about it a lot more. And hey, if you're thinking about going, sign up for Road Week. Come hang out with us. It's a blast. It's a great time. And you'll have the time of your life with some awesome people. Let's see. Big Jobs here. Scott, Mecum was fun to watch. Yep, that's the next thing we're going to talk about is Mecum. Obviously, Kissimmee is one of their biggies. Kissimmee and Indy are their two biggies. And man, we're so strong. I was really shocked at some of the prices I saw. And granted, good cars are always going to bring good money, but I don't think anybody expected $1 million GTO Judge. I don't really think anybody expected that car to do $1 million. They did sell a Orbit Orange 70 Ram Air 4 Judge convertible, did $1 million. So it was kind of crazy to see some of those numbers. That's right, Throwing Sparks, a ton of wing cars. Randy says shockingly strong. Yep, I would agree with that. Judge set the tone. Yeah, there's truth to that too. Rico says Road Week is an awesome week. Everybody should do it once. Yeah, Rico and Jess did it with us. I guess it'll be 2 years ago now. You didn't go last year, but maybe you guys can sneak away this year because you guys know how much fun it was. But yeah, tons of wing cars this week at Kissimmee. The Twisters that we did the videos on with Jim Wicks in Kansas City, those all sold on Thursday. The 428 big block Twister did $330,000. The small block Twister did $143,000, and the Torino did $110,000. They all three of those sold right in a row. So, number one, most of those were online bids, and it's all those new money social media dollars. Could be, I don't know. Bill likes a Pioneer Village video as well. I don't know if that was Henry's answer to the Stutz Bearcat on that Model K Ford or not, but it was kind of the same platform. Yeah, $200,000 for a TA Challenger. Yep, I do remember seeing that too. Auburn badge. So, overall, I mean, they had a heck of a sale. There is absolutely no doubt about that. That real low mileage Hemi Daytona, $1.4 million. Of course, the Judge, 1-1 with the buyer's premium. They had a blue Judge convertible that did $500,000. Surprised by the Torino at barely $100K. Yeah. And it's kind of one of those deals where you got to kind of take the balance. That car was not as nice as the Mustangs, but that's because it was original. So what do you do there? Do you want the car that's original or do you want the car that's almost too good? And that's, I think that's probably what held that Torino back a little bit, but it's pretty unique being an original car. But obviously, and of course, they had a gold wing Mercedes did $1.5 million, which was typical for those some high dollar Ferraris. The '69 Hemi Daytona that was actually a NASCAR car driven by Bobby Allison at a little over $1 million. Just a lot of dollars flying around there. Really surprised me at what some of this stuff brought. Because we are starting to see the markets correct a little bit, but man, this stuff seems strong. Let's see. Guy with the car got no $200,000 challenges in his future. Mark's a fan of the original ones. Leo's looking for a great show today. Eric, big job. No bidding on Chevy emos. Number one, it's really hard to find any Ford other than a Stanger GT to make crazy money. Yeah. But man, some of that stuff is really starting to. Bill Disk is here. Passed the CDL the other week. That's good news. Congratulations on that. But really shocked at the 6- and 7-figure cars, especially the amount of them. I mean, it was just one after the other, and that you get into some of those big dollar cars. I couldn't believe it. But just amazing. I did talk to Jim last night. I don't know if any of you saw Jim on TV this week. My good friend Jim Wicks, who we've done a lot of videos with. He was there all week, actually over the whole duration, all 12 days or whatever, since a week ago Thursday he's been there. That's right, Nate. It was a nice car. There's no doubt about that. Torino was a nice car, but it wasn't, perfect. So Anthony says they're posting almost 250 million overall. So kind of crazy. But I texted Jim last night and he called me right away. He had a minute, so he called me to get me up to date. And he said it was kind of funny. Yesterday morning, obviously they're in Florida. They do this sale in Florida in the wintertime, and they think everything should be okay. But Saturday morning, he said it was in the 30s with a 30-mile-an-hour wind, and the wind was blowing directly in the door where the cars came in. So there really wasn't any way around it. I mean, that wind was just blowing right. He said you couldn't even lay anything on the tables where the bidders sat in the gold section because the wind was so strong that it would blow stuff off the tables. He said it was pretty miserable there first thing yesterday morning. But he did say a lot of the earlier cars that, a week ago cars, your average driver stuff is back to what it's worth. That stuff has been 20% over what it was worth. But that's what happens on some of this stuff. And we know it's correcting, but man, this good stuff still seemed really strong. But like I said, it's cool when Jim's there and can give us some firsthand information. Let's see where we at here. Guy best up, not bidding 475 on the Mecum rule. Jim jumped in and outbid him. I don't know which car that was on, Scott. Was that on that Boss 9 or something? That's right, Ozark Fox. You'd almost be afraid to own $1 million car. That's true. Sam's here with us. But Jim did have a good week. He had, Jim's got a great client list, and he got a lot of great cars bought this week. Obviously, some of you guys did see him on TV, but he did buy a black LS6 convertible for a client. He got a Ford GT for a client. He bought a Boss 429 for a client, a couple of Shelbys. So he had a good week, but that's his job. That's what he does. Which wouldn't be a bad gig unless you went to an auction all week and didn't get anything bought for any of your clients. That would make for a thin week, but he did get some cool cars bought. And like I said, that's what his job is. He looks them over. He makes sure they are what they are advertised as. He can provide the potential buyer firsthand information, and then he can handle the bidding and then arranges transport and everything to get them out of there. So I don't know whatever happened to Reggie Jackson's collection. I really don't. I would imagine he still got a lot of them. I know he did have a warehouse fire several years ago and lost a bunch of cars. But I would assume he's still got a lot of his cars. He has not been as active buying and selling as he used to be because you haven't seen him around. But I bet a lot of those cars are probably still stashed somewhere. Hoods and badge. Mark said there were a lot of really old badges and emblems on Proxy Bid in Ohio today. I wonder if that was close to you. So, yeah, that's right, Scott. You did typically see him at Barrett. That's true. But Auburn badge, they actually did have some Auburns at Kissimmee this week. I saw a couple of Auburns. I've seen one go across the block yesterday. I think they had another one today as well. Ryan's here with us on Facebook. Stuff's about 45 minutes away from Mark. Well, that's good. That way we can go pick it up and check it out. So, but another thing that Jim said, as far as some of the stuff got a little crazy. He said he watched a 70 Mach 1 sell for $150,000 for a 351 car. He said, I don't know what some of these people are thinking, but he said it was a 351 and it brought $150,000. So anyway, make sure we're staying caught up here. Been lots of comments popping up. I don't want to get too far behind on you guys as we're rolling through things here. But it looks like, let me look over here. Was there anything else we wanted to check out or talk about? Oh, Road Art. Mecum had a good Road Art sale as well. One of the highlights from the Road Art sale, if you guys didn't see this, you definitely want to check it out. It's well worth looking at. They had a absolutely stunning Cadillac sign. It was a 1950s era. I think it was late 50s. Lone Star Cadillac, double-sided porcelain neon with buyer's premium hammered at $82,000. It was yesterday, a Saturday. So if you want to check out a super cool sign, be sure to check that out. And obviously they do a ton of road art there. Every day they have a great memorabilia auction, and they move a lot of stuff. But that Cadillac sign really, really stood out. Let's see. Make sure I'm. Yeah, Randy, I did see that Auburn without the supercharger across the block. And then I think they had one today that did have a supercharger as well. That's right. There's some people that have money burned a hole in their pocket for what some of these people are paying for sure. Bill says, "Hello, Gray Kitty. That's you. Hey, that's you. Yeah, they're talking about you. What did the Auburn go for? Hold on here. Let me look it up. I don't know what the one yesterday brought. Yeah, I think it brought 600. I think the one yesterday was like 600. That was the one without the supercharger. Haven't even looked at the one today. The one today that was supercharged, bid goes on at 800,000. So they didn't cut the one today loose. I think the one yesterday was 606 or 625, and it did sell, I believe. Yeah, Randy says, "Yep, 600. Hey, they're talking to you. You. What? Hey. Bill's talking to you. Yeah, you. Yeah, you don't care. We're bothering her. I think we're bothering her." Alec went and looked at a 53 Chieftain yesterday. The guy that looked at it right after he did bought it. I guess that didn't work out. Chrome grills for an 08 Crown Vic. Don't mess with anything that new, Ryan. That's just way too new for me. That's a good point. Live, laugh, shift. Probably never have $1 million car, but might have to maybe $1 million mile car. That might be a possibility. Scott, some of the mid to late 70s Pontiacs brought huge money. Especially the Trans Am stuff. Obviously, has been super strong. Yep, no problem, Ryan. No, the Nova Wagon's still here. I got a ton of guys that want parts off of it. I got a bunch of stuff I got to go check on it this week, but no, it's still here. I've had phones been ringing off the hooks. I've got a bunch of guys want a bunch of pieces off of it, but it's still here. So anyway, with that being said, I guess it's time to move on. That kind of catches up with a little bit of a Kissimmee wrap up, and get ready for the rest of the auction, the January auctions, all in Arizona. So Kenny's here with us. Master X-Ray says, "I never thought I'd have a pre-war, but now he's got a 41 Ford." Yep, and that happens. Never say never. Leo, still have fun with the 74 Nova 4-door, not high dollar, but fun. And that's all that matters, Leo. That's the whole purpose of this hobby, is to have fun and enjoy it. And you can sure do that. Doesn't matter what you've got. As long as you've got something you have fun with, it's all that matters. Yep, Alec, those 53s are all big flathead 8s and swapped to a 12 volt. So, yep, I've got a lot of 53s in the yard if you come up with the one you need pieces for. In fact, I just got one in. We got a video coming out on a 53 here sometime in the next week or two. I've already got it shot. I just haven't got it posted yet. Or it's listed, it's up, but it hasn't public yet. So, but anyway, that being said, we'll see how things go. We're going to get ready for the Arizona auctions. Obviously, there's like 4 or 5 of them. Obviously, Barrett-Jackson is the biggest, but there are about a half dozen auctions in Arizona and Phoenix at that same time. So there's going to be a lot of stuff coming up, lots of things happening with the January auctions in Arizona now that Kissimmee is over. So Jim, I think he gets to come home this time. I don't remember when Barrett starts. But there's some times where Jim's basically gone for 3, almost 4 weeks between Kissimmee and the Arizona auctions. So it's a lot of work for him. There's no doubt about it. Auburn badge. But let's move on. We've got a promo. We've got some emblems. We've got some auctions. We've got a super cool magazine. Oh, and we got a gray cat. Hey, Gray Kitty. What? Yeah, that's fine. You stay over there. You can't step on the keyboard. Yeah, good question, Ryan. You know where my 10 millimeter is? I don't think anybody knows where the 10 millimeter is. But on to the promo model. Tonight we've got something a little bit different. Not a car that you see all the time, not an extremely common car, probably not the most popular car in the world, but it's a cool promo. And by having the promo makes us think about some of these cars that you don't really see and don't really think about a lot anymore. And this one is in pretty good shape. The bumpers are there, the lights are there, some of the chrome's kind of rubbed off, but it is really in pretty decent shape, and it's kind of an odd one that we don't really think about much. The 1961 Mercury Monterey two-door hardtop. That's right, Mike. Enjoy the hobby in this life because you can't do it the next time. That's for sure. Barrett starts on the 21st. So, yeah, Jim will probably get home for a couple days and do laundry, repack, and then he flies back, and then he flies out to Arizona. So, Randy says hit the like button. Appreciate that. Hey, they're talking to you again. Anthony said hi, too. Hey. Yeah. Meow. Yeah, meow. You going to come say hi? Come here. You want to say hi real quick? You do? All right, come here. You say hi real quick. Then we're going to get to the promo. All right, there you say hi to everybody. Say hi. Wave. Yes. Say hi, I'm the great Kiki. I'm the great kitty. Yes. Okay. There, we're back to the promo. All right, back to our little Mercury. A lot of you guys are liking a big job. Yep, same platform as the Galaxy. It is a boat, that's for sure. That's a gray kitty. Yes, that is you. You are a gray kitty. Live, laugh. Shift's got to bail off for tonight. Glad you made it. Ryan's got to head out. Glad you were here for a while. But this little Mercury Monterey, this actual promo is in pretty decent shape. You look at the front, you can see, the chrome's kind of thin, kind of yellowed. Believe it or not, both fender ornaments still intact. A little bit of yellowing on the window. But the back, all the tail lights are still there. The fin tips are still there. So really in pretty decent condition. Bottom of this, once again, like most of these promos, it's just the driveline is just cast into it. There are no separate pieces of the driveline other than the tires, wheels, and axles. Does still have the original tires and hubcaps all the way around. Brian got his cans from the auction. Great. Glad they made it safely. Kind of a metallic green. I tried to look the color up, and there was like 4 different greens, so I didn't want to say the wrong one. But it's kind of a lighter metallic green on this 61 Mercury Monterey two-door hardtop. So there again, not something we think about it a lot, but that's part of the reason we do this. That's the reason we look at the old magazines. It's the reason we look at some of these old promos. And it's definitely the reason we look at some of the badges, because a lot of these are cars that we don't even really think about that much anymore. The 61 Mercury Monterey definitely falls into that category. Yes, Mark, I got your check yesterday. So I haven't processed anything with it yet, but I did get it. And I don't have you in the auction, in the raffle can yet, but you will be. It's still out on the shipping bench to get everything packaged first. So, but the little Monterey, like I said, really promo condition wise, great shape, kind of a different color, and definitely a car you just don't think about that much because you just don't see a lot of them. Yeah, Alec wants to buy it too. Yeah, and this is the only one of these I've got. I need to go through some of my promos because if I've got some duplicates, we can probably try to sell some of those. So, Bill, this got his Diamond T emblem. That is sweet, Bill. There is no doubt about it. That thing is a nice emblem. It's cool. So that's what's great about these promos, the magazines, is it brings us back. We think about cars that we haven't thought about in a long time. The 61 Mercury Monterey definitely fits that bill. Promo's in good shape, and it's a pretty cool car, just not something that is real common anymore. Is Monterey about the same size car as Impala? Yeah, they were a full size car, so that would be kind of, I think, the same area. Yes. Yeah, it would be cool to have one. They are a neat car. They're just not that popular, to be honest with you. That's right. It's kind of the same rear wheel cutout like a lot of the pickups had, says number one. That's true too. Mark's got to jump off for a second. That's right. Buy me a Mercury and cruise up and down the road. That's true. On this little 61 Mercury Monterey, kind of a cool piece and something different. So that's what we got for tonight for the promo. The 61 Monterey in kind of a metallic greenish, tealish color type thing. Not sure. Real quick, since when Mark asked if he got his check, I shipped Thursday of this week because Dad had a doctor's appointment in Kansas City on Friday. So I shipped Thursday. So anything that was paid for, midday Thursday on, it has not shipped yet. It will ship Tuesday because I don't think the post office is open tomorrow. So anything that was paid for, and there's only a few of them, 3 or 4 of them that were paid for like after lunch on Thursday, has not shipped yet, just so you guys know. Ozark had a 61 Mercury in high school. It was stolen, found burnt in the bottoms. Huh, that isn't good. But it's time to catch some emblems. Inside's a little crusty. It's got some dust inside, Bill. Inside of it is definitely dirty. Probably can't see it on the screen, but it is definitely a little dirty on the inside. John from San Antonio's here. But let's look at this badge first, because everybody's probably getting a little thirsty. Then we're going to get into the regular badge segment for tonight. As always, we start off with a pre-war badge, then we move up to a post-war badge and talk about what's going on in those time period, in that era, and what we've got and what we're looking at. Obviously, a lot of these super early badges are really cool because of the colors, the enameling in a lot of them. And it tells a story. It talks about a time that is long gone. And a lot of these cars actually, back then you couldn't really tell a lot of the cars apart. They relied on some of these badges and ornaments, even though they weren't very big. They did rely on some of them to help identify the car, because a lot of the cars looked the same back in the 20s, at least to me. So the first one we're going to start off with is the 1926 to 1928 era Overland Whippet. Now, some of these badges, they've got chips, they've got scars, things like that. This one's got a few whammos in it. But there again, all these badges that I collect are originals. They have a story. They went down the road. They've been around for, this is 1926, 27, almost 100 years. And they have been around that long. And it's so cool when you think about what these things have been through, what they've seen, the story they tell, the story they continue to sell. Joe's Classics is on with us. This one's got a little bit of a curvature to it. It was a stud mount. Wow, you're in my way. Yes, you're in my way. It is about 1.5 inches in diameter on the little Whippet Overland. Now, yeah, make a cool hat pin. I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to see this. I'm going to try to show this to you. Probably have to show both cameras up close. But it says the Willys Overland Company up here. And it may just kind of look blurred on your screen. And Toledo, Ohio around the bottom. So I don't know if you guys can make that out or not. It's pretty small even to see it in person. So I don't know if you can see it or not. We'll show it over here on Facebook a little bit closer too, to see if you guys can see it or not, where it says the Willys Overland Company and Toledo, Ohio along the bottom of it. So a cool piece, very colorful, has the metal color. I don't know if it was kind of a copper or a goldish color on the metal part originally. It's obviously tarnished with the deep red background and the deep blue and the white on the letters. Yeah, they can't make it out. I didn't think you guys could, so that's why I was telling you. The Willys Overland Company is what it says across the top. And then Toledo, Ohio, USA across the bottom. Mark got an Essex badge, a Carmen badge, and a data tag from an old IHC truck. So that's not bad. At least you got something. So there's our pre-war badge for tonight, the Overland Whippet from 1926 to 1928. Now, as always, we're going to jump up a few decades. Cat, you just about rolled over on the keyboard, dummy. The next badge we're going to check out, like I said, we're going to jump up a few decades, going to our post-war badge, is a pretty unique one. Got an Auburn badge for you, too. That you really don't see. And I actually took this off the car probably at least 30 years ago, maybe a little more than that, because obviously in today's world, we would have never stripped the car. You know, we'd have probably tried to bring the car in. But at the time, it was really, really rough. And today, somebody would probably do something with it. 30 years ago, it was pretty rough. But you don't see them very often. And that's where this emblem came from, because we stripped the car out and left the shell. But this is kind of an odd piece that you really don't see. Was a Whippet a cycle car? No, Whippet was a regular car. But this is a glove box door emblem. It's a very unique piece off of a 1965 Buick Skylark Grand Sport. They had these on the glove box, and this is a very small emblem. I mean, you look, I put my finger on it, it's smaller than that. So it is pretty small. It is 3 inches by about 3/8. So it is small. I did repaint the red. The red area has been repainted. Other than that, this is an original emblem, glove box door of a 65 Skylark. It is flat, stud mounted. It is a pot metal piece, and actually spelled out Grand Sport instead of GS. So kind of a unique piece, not one you come across very often. I don't think they did this in 66. I think this was a 65, the first year only type of deal. So it's a neat piece. I've always liked it. Like I said, you look, hindsight's always 20/20, but you look back now at the fact that we stripped the car out and left the Hulk there because it was too rough, wasn't worth messing with at that time. But I got the emblem. I kept the emblem. Like I said, I know it's been at least 30 years ago, probably a little over 30 years ago that we stumbled across that car and just got some pieces off of it. And I managed to get a hold of this and keep it and hold on to it and add it to my collection. So kind of a different piece as well. So that's what we've got tonight for badges and emblems. The 1926 to 1928 Overland Whippet and the 1965 Buick Skylark Grand Sport glove box door. Alec likes it too. Yeah, it's neat. It's something kind of different for sure. Mark, I missed one of those two. Deep pockets, nothing to do in the winter. Go to an auction and run you. Yeah, spend a ton of money. That's right. Leo loves watching, listening, and learning. Well, great, Leo. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. But that's what we've got for tonight for badges and emblems. So I guess that brings us up to auction time. Hey, can I have my notepad? Can I have my notepad? You're laying on the notepad. Hey, you're laying on the notepad. Move. You got to move. Kenny's digging them. I use just like regular paint. I mean, I probably did this one with model paint, I'm guessing, because that was back when I would have had model cars. So I'm guessing that was like model paint is probably what I would have used on those. Biggest thing is make sure they're clean. Make sure they're all good and clean. Everybody's getting excited for the auctions. Big job, X-Ray. Everybody's getting excited. Hey, you got to move your butt. You got to move your butt. Cat, you got to move up. Yeah, that's right. Her notepad. She's rolling over on her back, looking at me backwards. That was a 65, number one. That is off the glove box door of a 65. No, I don't want fingernail polish. I think it was model paint more than likely. Yeah, she still says no. You got to move. All right, you got to move. No, you don't roll over backwards, turn your head around, and look at me like I'm bothering you. You're in our way. Do you understand that? You are in our way. Comprende, muchacho? You don't care. All right, you're moving. You got to move. I need this notepad. You got to move. There you go. There you go. Up we go. All right. Yep, like Tester's model paint, exactly. So let's get ready to roll on the auctions. Let me get regrouped, move some things around, get my notepad ready. Chose Classics. I'm excited to watch everybody spend their money. Yeah, squirt gun. I'm sure she'd really appreciate that. But as always on auctions, first off, hit your refresh button. Make sure you're current and caught up on the timing. That seems to be an issue. Obviously, what we will do, I will hold up an item. We'll look at it. We'll talk about the condition. We'll talk about any defects. I'll give you some dimensions. We'll talk maybe a little bit about the piece. That's right, Mike says the sniper's already loading. After I get done talking about the piece, and while we're talking about it, if you're interested in it, go ahead and throw a bid up there, even if it's a low bid, just so I know, make sure that I know it's something you guys are interested in. As even tonight, I've got a couple of different things we've never done before that I'm just going to see if you guys are interested in them, because I think they're cool. You might not. So when we start talking about an item, throw a bid out there if you're interested in it. And as we get going, after I get done describing it, I will put it on a timer right here on my phone. I just hit the timer. We go for 2 minutes once I start it. I will tell you when 1 minute has passed. I will tell you when 1 minute 30 seconds has passed. When we get to that minute 30 mark, depending on your delay, some guys have up to a 20 or 30 second delay. When I tell you a minute and a half has passed, time to be thinking about your max bid and throw it out there. The guys that really want something, if they throw their max bid out there, when the snipers come rolling in the last few seconds, you're usually covered. So keep that in mind as we're rolling through here, and when I throw up the times and you know what's going on. So obviously, I will be watching that timer when we get close to the 2 minute mark. I will let you know as it ticks down. That's right, Tweedledee, whole numbers only. I don't care if you only bid $1, but just the whole number. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of comments about Lisa Marie Presley. That was very sad, that she passed away. It was kind of shocking. She wasn't that old, so that was a terrible thing. So, and you're right. That's another good point, Throwing Sparks. She did live a tormented life, I think. I think there is some truth to that as well. And that would be, pretty tough to live up to. There's no doubt about it. Payment, check, money order, Western Union, PayPal, friends and family only. Any of those will work. And that's right, Jeff Beck, we talked about that a little bit earlier too. Big car guy, as well as an extremely talented musician. Passed away this week also. And then, of course, Robbie Knievel, Evel Knievel's son. So 2023 has not started off very well as far as celebrities passing away, for sure. If you've got any questions about payment or anything and you want to bid, go ahead and bid. Call me tomorrow and I'll walk you through any of that stuff or get you the information. The mailing address and the PayPal information are both in the description part of the video. After we get done, you can always go back and click on that and then get all that information as well. Non-US bidders, if you're interested, you can play along. However, you will have to pay me, which is typically a bank wire, which costs $30 or $40 you'd be responsible for, as well as non-US shipping. Most of these smaller items that we do, shipping is included. If we do something bigger, I will tell you there's going to be additional shipping or a minimum bid to make sure we cover the shipping on a certain piece. So please keep all that in mind. If you've got questions, don't hesitate to ask me. But if you're in a tight spot and you want to bid, go ahead and bid. Call me tomorrow and we'll work it out. We'll get it straightened out on how to get me paid so I can get it shipped to you. Not a big deal. Like I said earlier, be sure to hit that refresh button. If you do want to buy for 1 or 2 weeks, especially if you're non-US or sending a check, that's fine. Just let me know. Say, I'll send you a check after next week's auction so we can do it all at once. And as a lot of you guys are aware of, I do try to, bundle package as much stuff as I can. If you've got a couple weeks worth of stuff, sometimes I don't always get it shipped right away, especially if I get a payment late in the week, and then I can double up on the shipping just because shipping is getting so expensive. So anyway, you're back. Yeah, you're back. So we'll have to keep her off the keyboard during the auctions. We'll start off with a couple small things as we usually do, some cheaper items, just to kind of get everybody a feel for delays and things like that. For the first few items, I will try to read all of the bids as soon as I see them, just to give you guys an idea of what you're up against as far as timing issues and delays. After the first few items, I may not read every bid. If we get 4 bids pop up at once, I will read the highest bid so we know what's going on. We do have bidders on Facebook and YouTube, so I will be keeping an eye on both formats. So if you hear me announce a bid that you don't see, that's why. It's because it is on the other format. So let's go ahead and get rolling with some smaller items to kind of get a feel for how things are going to go tonight. And let's add some cool stuff to your guys' collections. Better give you one of those to get things rolling too. We'll start off with some pins tonight. They're, again, some smaller, cheaper stuff to kind of get things rolling, but they are still cool. The first one, IH, Mid-America Equipment, Kraus Farmhand, Versatile, Stockton, Kansas. What's cool about it, it does have the IH symbol on it for International Harvester. Red and white pin. The next one, Champlin, Al's Champlin Service from Plainville, Kansas, has the Champlin logo on it for that service station. Conoco, Allen's Conoco, block south of the stoplight. That's the address. At Allen's Conoco, a block south of the stoplight, Stockton, Kansas. Randy at 5. That, I don't know if you guys can read it or not, but that is literally the address. Block south of the stoplight. So Randy at 5. The last one, Ray's Ford, Hill City, Kansas, with the Ford logo on it. All four, one bid. I've got Randy at 5, X-Ray at 7. Let's get this thing on the timer. And we are live. X-Ray at 7. Like I said, these first ones, I'm going to try to read all bids as soon as I see them, because so everybody can see where the delay is. That's right. Let's get some more Auburn badge up there. I'm going to make my notes so I can keep track of all this stuff. Randy at 10. Alec at 8 over here, but I've got Randy at 10, but I want to try to read all these as soon as I see them so that we all stay up to speed. Coming up on the 1 minute mark, Randy at 10. One minute has now passed. We are at the 1 minute mark. I don't know, Big Job. I didn't try any of them. Minute 20 has passed. As we come up on the minute 30 mark, and we have now hit 1 minute 30 seconds, Randy at 10. $20 seconds left. Big Job at 15. 10. 10 seconds left. And that does it. Big Job at 15. Randy came back at 16, just 2 seconds too late. No, these aren't like the stripper pins where their dress slides up if you turn it. So all right, we'll do a few other smaller items. This is something kind of different. I don't even know if you guys are interested in this or not. But we've done a few of these oddball cans that you guys have thought was kind of cool over the years, and I thought we'd try a couple of other kind of different non-automotive cans, but they're kind of cool. We've done some cigar cans and stuff. I'm not even sure what this one was, P&M. I don't even know what P&M was because it really doesn't say. But it's a really cool, super early can. It is a square can. It says P&M, red tins, P&M. And I can't really make out the bottom of it. It is 5 3/8 tall, 3 1/4 square. So I don't know if anybody has any interest. This actually has a paper label on a metal can. You see it's torn over here. Eric at 5. So Eric likes it. So Eric started us off at 5. It is a metal cap. It is empty inside. But it's a unique little deal. Definitely early, but I just don't know much about it. Eric at 5. Let's go ahead and get it on the timer and see if anybody else likes it or just Eric. But it is early. It is cool. It is different. I just don't know what it is. All right. We're rolling. Eric's going to bid 5. And we'll see if anybody else likes this thing. Like I said, it doesn't say anything about cars on it, but it is definitely early. It has a cool look to it. It has cool font. Definitely has some cool patina to it. Dennis at 7. John says his wife thinks tea bags. Could very well be. Very well could be. Dennis at 7 as we hit the 1 minute mark. I can't make, it says red tins here, but I can't make out what it says at the bottom. Minute 20 has passed. Dennis at 7. Could be coffee. That's a possibility as well. Minute 30 has passed. Down to the last 30 seconds. Dennis at 7. $20 seconds left. Eric at 8. 10 seconds. And that does it. We'll sell to Eric. And then Jason came in at 10, just a second too late. But we'll mark that one to Eric because Jason was just literally just like that much. Like I could see the 201 popping up. It was that close. Joe tried to look it up. Nothing. Couldn't find nothing on it. So let's we'll keep moving. We got a lot of cool stuff to go. Let's get a license plate out here and get rolling with it and see what everybody thinks of this one. They're actually not a Kansas plate. Like I said, occasionally I do come up with some other stuff, just not real often. And it's kind of crazy to think about. It's the age on this. So it's a Texas plate from 1973. So it's kind of crazy to think about that it is now 50 years old. This is a little rough. It's got some staining and stuff up here across the top. 1973 Texas. I think it was supposedly originally a white or an off-white. The staining and stuff definitely has more yellow or brown to it now. Star right in the middle, and that's about it. Texas 1973, star right in the middle. It is embossed, but this does appear to be like it was a coating. It wasn't painted. It was some sort of other coating on this 1973 Texas plate. So it is a John at 10. It is pretty flat. It is a standard 12x6 plate the way it looks. Yep. John at 10. Billy Bowman's on with us. So anyway, Eric says that will become an amp for a cigar box guitar. There you go. X-Ray at 11. Let's get this thing on the timer. It is a good wall hanger. It's just kind of crazy to think that John at 12, that it's 50 years old. Get my notes caught up here. I got to keep telling myself to do this. If not, I'm not going to have, I'm going to miss something here and then not know where we're at. John at 12. Kenny says that makes him feel younger. It was a coating with black letters, says Mike. Yeah, that's kind of what it looks like. So, as we hit the 1 minute mark on the 1973 Texas plate, Alec at 15. And coming up on the minute 20, we're at the minute 20 mark. Alec at 15 is our high bidder. John at 16. 1:30, we have hit the 1 minute 30 second mark. Lee at 20. $20 seconds left to go. $10. Lee is our high bidder at 20. And that does it. Lee at 20. All right, what else we got? We got a lot of cool stuff in here. This is kind of a unique piece. It's got a badge on it, and I left the whole thing together just depending on what somebody wanted to do with it. This is a front badge, front ornament for a late 40s era Dodge, 46 to 48 era car. I left the whole unit together just so you guys can kind of do whatever you want, whether you wanted to just take the enamel badge off or use the whole ornament. But it's a cool piece, and it is a statement piece when you look at this thing. Nice bright chrome. It's got the big enamel badge. We see the gold and the red here with a black background. This is a pot metal base that it sits on. It's got some pitting in it, but it's not broken or chipped. Nice bright chrome. It is kind of a V shape to go on the front of the car. It is, yeah, Travis says it's gorgeous. It's a pretty cool piece. That's why I left it here. I've got, if we go straight across, not counting the angle or counting the V, it's about 14 inches. X-ray at 15. And it's about 5 inches tall. X-ray started us off at 15. It's about 5 inches tall, about 14 tip to tip. I don't know if you can get Alec at 10, but I've already got X-ray at 15. But like I said, I'm trying to read as many of these bids on these first few items as possible so we all know where we're at. I don't know if you guys can see the enameling and the badge. Like I said, and that comes off. It is a stud mount that unscrews. If you wanted to just take the actual enamel badge off, one screw right there to do that. Thanks, Randy. Appreciate it. Some chipping and stuff on it, but still a cool looking piece. So X-ray at 15 is our high bidder. Let's go ahead and get this thing boogieing on the timer. Alec at 20. We are live. Timer is running. Alec at 20 on the 48 Dodge front badge. Alex at 25. Ticking away, ticking away. we'll start looking at what we want to do next. As we come up and pass the 1 minute mark, Alex at 25. That's right, Mike. Snipers are loading. They got Alex in the crosshairs. That's right, Sam. Minute 20 is passed. Alex at 25, coming up on the minute 30 mark. And there's the minute 30 mark, 30 seconds left. What's going to happen? It's a cool piece, so it's going to be kind of interesting. Maybe Alex will steal it. Gary's here with us on Facebook for a while. Glad you made it. It is like a crest piece, yes. Alex at 25, 10 seconds left. Jason at 27. And that does it. Jason at 27. And there's the 30 a little bit late, but I'm going to show you guys something kind of different that we haven't looked at before. And I don't know if you guys are interested in it or not. It is, I think it's kind of cool. I bought it at an auction one time and never did anything with it. So I'm going to see if you guys like it as much as I thought I did. We've never done anything like this before on here. It is a little bit big, so it is going to cost a few bucks to ship it. But it's something that I think somebody could use. I bought it because I thought I was going to use it and I didn't. Reno. So I'm going to see what you guys think of this. And if you guys don't like it, that's fine. I'll keep it. But I want to show it, throw it out there because I haven't done anything with it. It's a little tool cabinet or tool tray, I guess. An old Snap-on one. It says ferret set on it is what it was for originally, whatever that was for. This is all embossed in here, though. It's faded, but it's in good condition. And I thought it was kind of a cool piece. It's something somebody could still use. That's what I thought I would do with it. I never did. It is all metal. I'm guessing it's probably 50s era. I'm not sure. Just says 15, starting us at 15. It is 18 5/8 long and 5 inches high. It is fairly shallow. That's right, fix your ferret. It's only an inch deep, so it's not real deep. Good for miscellaneous nuts and bolts, yep. It's a cool piece. It really is. Like I said, and you can see the inside of the cover where that's all stamped in. So you know it's the real deal. That's the way it is. That's how it was made. That's how it came. And it's all metal, real deal. It's just, like I said, I always thought I would use it for something. I just never have. So Jess at 15 is where we're starting. So we'll go ahead and sell it. I hope we get a few more bids because this thing has got a little bit of weight to it. And it's going to take a little bit to ship this thing. So we'll go ahead and kick it off on the timer on the Snap-on toolbox. Jess at 15. It's there again. I'm guessing it's 50s. That's right. You can clean this up, fill it with new tools, but it's a cool piece because it does have some age, but it's not. I mean, it's got dings and dents, but it's not rusted out. It's not beat up. It's not torn up. It's not trashed. Still got the little nub to close it with right there where it catches. Jess at 15. That's right. Fill the hole with 10 millimeter sockets so you don't run out. Good idea, Randy. As we're coming up on the 1 minute mark. Just about there. 1 minute has now passed. Mark at 17. Jess at 25. I guess you could kind of fix that, paint it, put your, I don't know what, I think it was supposed to be gray. I'm going to say gray is what I think it was. X-ray at 27. As we hit the minute 30 mark, a minute 30 has passed. Jason says 20s to the 40s. Jess at 30, so maybe a little older than we thought. 20 seconds left. Jess at 30. Jess at 30 is where we at on this thing. 10 seconds left. Kenny at 32. Jess at 35. And that does it. Jess at 35. Barely snuck that one in. We had a few. Joe says a ferret set was a toolkit that had the hand swivel driver thing in it. Okay, there was a lot of stuff going on, so I didn't want to. I was trying to keep up with everything all at the same time. So, yeah, actual metal. I'm glad you guys liked that because it was something kind of different. I never did anything with it. Maybe you guys will dig it. I'm glad you did. That's why I try to mix in some different stuff like that. That's right. Definitely not from China. X-ray says neat piece to fill out. Yeah. So I'm glad you guys thought it was cool because I thought it was neat. I like mixing in some different things. So, but on to the next thing. Let's catch another license plate. Addie's got a few hubcaps in here. Lots of badges and emblems tonight. So let's catch another plate. From 1967. Anybody got a 67 pickup? Because we got a 1967 truck plate. Kenny digs it. Yeah, I'm glad you guys liked it. I really do. The next plate, though, is a baby blue 1967 truck. We've done some of these light blue ones before, but I don't know that we've done a truck one. But pretty decent shape. Original paint. It's bent a little bit, but not bad. Has the sticker on it for the weight rating. Says it was a farm truck. Original paint. Back is original baby blue. Ozark says he's a 67. So, well, maybe you ought to bid on this one. 1, 2, 3, 5. So they missed. I don't know what happened to the 1, 2, 3, 4. The 4 must have went somewhere else. But 1, 2, 3, 5 on the 67 Kansas truck plate. Baby blue, white letters, mark at 20. David says he's got a 66 truck, but not a 67. So it is a different color, being kind of that baby blue. Let's get the timer going here so we can keep things moving. Mark at 20 on the 67 plate. Yep. X-ray likes the farm sticker. Yep. Says it was a farm truck. Weston Wilson needs a 59 Pawnee County truck. I don't know. I'd have to look and see what I've got. I don't know. It is almost a petty blue. That's true. Frank at 20, but I've already got Mark at 20. Had him at 20 right out of the gate. So you probably put in at the same time. You just got a worse delay. Mark at 20. As we come up on the 1 minute mark. Tweedledee at 25. Post-Christmas bill items, yeah. Mark at 27. Minute 20 has passed. Frank at 29 as we hit the minute 30 mark. 30 seconds left. Frank at 29. Joe's getting thirsty. Sorry about that, guys. Mark at 30. 20 seconds left. Mark at 30. Tweedledee at 32, and that was at 200. Tweedledee got that $32 in there. Mark came back at 33, but we had Tweedledee at 32, and I think that was at 200. It was that close because I was literally just getting ready to shut it off because it hit 200, and that's when it hit at 200. So I wouldn't try that again, Tweedledee, because you were closer than that to missing that. And that's right, number one. That's kind of the way we do this. We do some cheaper stuff, and we're gonna do a little bit better stuff here coming up. But I want everybody to play. Some of this $20 and $30 stuff that lets everybody play and add to their collection, and that's the whole purpose of this. Everybody can have some fun. Yeah, blank checks are great. Just sign them. I can take care of them from there. Not a problem. Mark says his clock says 911. Oh, what else we got to do here that's kind of cool? We haven't done any toys in a while. I got a little toy here that, I don't know, it's not, there again, not a high dollar toy, but kind of a cool toy. And I almost didn't even doing it. Yeah, just checking delay. Okay, Tweedledee, you need to back up just a little bit because that came in like 159 and change as it was switching to 2. So you don't try to check it any more than that. I almost wasn't going to do this because I thought, that toy ain't that old. But then I got to thinking about it. Well, it's probably from the 70s, so it's probably a 50-year-old toy or almost a 50-year-old toy. What the heck? We'll see if you guys like it. If you don't like it, I'll keep it. We'll throw it back in the box. But it is kind of neat. It is a Tonka. And it's a little tiny, cute little dump truck. It's got a few chips in it, but the glass is there. The grill is there. You can still see the remains of the Tonka sticker on it. It was played with, but it wasn't played with terribly hard. It wasn't torn up. All the tires and all the original tires and wheels are still there. Red body, yellow dump bed. Mark at 20 on the little Tonka truck. Thing's cute as a little button. Jason's on a fridge run. Let me tell you, give you the size on this thing. You can see it's basically about the size of the palm of your hand, or fits in the palm of your hand. It's about 5 inches long and about 2.5 high. Travis is digging, so it's 5 inches by about 2.5. Just a cute little booger. Weston says his dad gave him one of those that was his. Yeah. It's a cute little truck. So Mark's going to start us off at 20. Let's get this thing on the timer on the cute little Tonka dump truck. Sam at 25. Yeah, that's true. And I have not polished this out. I have not used any compound or anything to try to bring some more life back into the paint. But you get it just right. It's got like a little stop for the bed. One minute has passed. Sam at 25 on the cute little Tonka dump truck. X-ray says it is a 1970, so it was issued in 1970, so it's actually a little over 50 years old. So there again, considering the fact that it's a toy that was used and played with, and it's over 50 years old, it's not bad. Minute 30 has passed. 30 seconds left. Sam at 25. Sam's sweating and he's starting to get worried now. Everybody's kind of sitting on their thumbs. I don't think I've got any Yonezawa toys. If I do, they're not nothing that I'm familiar with. 10 seconds left. Sam at 25. And you're good, Sam. Sam at 25. That's right. He's hardcore for having tandem axles. That's right. Mark came back at 28, but it was obviously a little late at that point, so must have been hung up in the delay on that one. Mark was trying, though. Hudson badge. But we got a few of Addie's caps tonight as well, so let's catch one of those next. This is a cute little Rambler. We've done some Rambler caps before. We've never done anything like this one. Yeah, and I don't. That's a good point, number one. I hope some newbies are getting a chance to win. I don't know if Sam, have you won anything before with us? I don't remember. If you may have in the past, I just don't remember. But I know I haven't shipped you anything here recently, so. But anyway, let's check out one of these little caps that Addie got ready for us. Kind of a different little Rambler. We've done a few Ramblers, but we haven't done one of these, and it's kind of a unique one. It is a small, but it's kind of made to look like a rally type wheel with the R in the middle. It has these almost like slots, like a rally type wheel would have. "10 inches in diameter." That's right. That's a good point, Joe. If Mark stays asleep, some of the new guys will have a shot. So, but it's pretty good shape. Few dings and dents, but not much. Stainless looks great. Eloy made it. Back of is nice and clean. It is a stainless cap. Pretty good shape. Got kind of the cool font that Rambler used on their R on this little cap. I'm guessing this is early to mid 60s. It's kind of got a dish to it. Kind of unique. I'm not sure what it is, but it is unique. Auburn badge. So what do you guys think on the Rambler cap? We ready to roll on this one? Let's go ahead and get it boogieing. I don't have any bids on it yet, which kind of surprised me since it's kind of unique. But there we go. Jess at 15. I was like, somebody's got to be jumping on this. It's kind of different. So Jess at 15, it would make a cool clock. Yep, the worst part about making them a clock, you got to drill holes in them. But I guess it's got the markings for it. John at 20. Yeah, it's in great shape. That's true, Travis. It's got a good shine to it. It's different. It's just a little different. Mark at 23. John at 24, Mark at 25. That all came in right there real quick. Ozark's going blind. Yeah, 1 minute has passed. John at 26 as we hit the 1 minute mark. Mark at 27 as we hit the minute 20. Alec at 27 as well. John at 28 on YouTube. Minute 30. We've hit the minute 30 mark. John at 28. Mark put sunglasses on to keep an eye on it. Mark at 30. 20 seconds left. John at 31. 10 seconds. Mark at 34. And that does it. Mark got that one at 34. And Alec came back at 33 after that, but we were already done. Mark had that one covered. And it is a unique piece, that's for sure. Badge bundle time. Let's do a badge bundle for our Ford fans. Ford truck badge bundle. Starting off with a full set of letters. F-O-R-D. I think these are hood letters. They say D3, so they're 73, but I think they're like big truck, like medium duty, I'm guessing, because they don't look like pickup. Well, they might be pickup. On the F, the O, the R, and the D. These have some pitting in them, but none of them are broken. They are an angled badge. The full set is going. 3 inches. These are about 3 inches long and about 1.25 inches tall. Don't have any shoebox emblems tonight, Joe. So we've got the full set of, I believe they're hood letters spelling out Ford. But wait, there's more. We've got an F100 custom badge from a mid to late 70s era Ford pickup from the side. This is a flat stud mount chrome badge. X-ray at 12 starting us off. The custom is 5 3/4. The F100 is 3 1/4. 3 1/4, a little over 5 on the F100 custom, and about 1 3/4 inches tall. It is they are pot metal and it is chrome plated. So we've got the hood letters and the F100 custom. But wait, there's more. We're going to throw in an F4 badge to go with it. This is a late 40s era F4. Went on the cowl of an F4. This is a pot metal badge, stud mount, few pits, but nice, bright, shiny chrome. And it is about 3 1/2 long. So all of them going together, the whole shooting match. Nova stuff tonight. Yeah, there's a Nova badge in there. We got to get to that Nova. We'll get to that Nova badge here in a little bit, Sam. All of it, one deal. Mark at 20. Let's get this thing on the timer. And I'm going to start making some notes on the Ford truck badge bundle. Yep, it's an F4, Eric. Like a tornado F4. Alec at 10 over here, but I've got Mark at 20 on YouTube. And the individual letters. Mark at 20. As we hit the 1 minute mark, 1 minute has now passed. Stuff's kind of tricky to hold all this up here at one time so you can kind of see it. Minute 20 has passed. And we're at the minute 30 mark, 30 seconds left. Mark at 20 is my high bidder. Everything one-shot deal. The letters and the emblems all together. 20 seconds left. X-ray at 21. Big Job at 30. 10 seconds left. David W. at 24. I got Big Job at 30. Just about done. Coming down to the wire. Big Job at 30. And that does it. Big Job at 30. At Alec at 25. David W. at 24. Mark at 24. But Big Job going in at 30 covered all of those. Kat, this would be a lot more convenient if you weren't sitting in my way on the desk. Yes, this would be a lot more convenient to be prepared for the auctions so I can lay stuff out if you were not in my way. Ashley lays her head back down and goes to sleep because she don't care. Let's see. Hey, you mind moving? Apparently not. Apparently she doesn't want to move. Well, you're asking about Nova emblems. Let's go ahead and do a Nova emblem. How about I stack stuff on you? I literally am stacking emblems on her, and she is not moving. Yes. What do you think of that? Build the cat a corner shelf over your left shoulder. There you go. Under the painting. All right, let's get this Chivy badge bundle. We did a Ford badge bundle. You guys want some Chivy badges? There's a Nova one in here. This is actually, Kat, you could really make things much more convenient for me if you would be cooperative throughout this project. Chivy badge bundle next. We're going to start off with, this is kind of a cute one. Put the cat in the Nova. There you go. Yeah, you want to go with the car? This is a teeny tiny little interior Monte Carlo badge. This is a 70s era, 73, 4, 5, something like that. It's a little dinky one. It's kind of cute. The Monte Carlo cursive script. This emblem is only 2.5 inches long. It's like 2.5 by 1/2. It's a cute little booger. It's metal. It is flat mount. The studs are chipped off the back, but it is an actual metal emblem. Big Job's at 5 already. But wait, there's more. Vega. Vega badge. This is off the rear of about a 75, 76 era Vega by Chevrolet. This is also a metal badge. It is flat mount. It was stud. Big Job's at 6 now. The Vega badge is about 4 inches long by about an inch high. Alex at 15. Reno at 13, but I've got Alec at 15 over here already. That's right, the baby Camaro. So we've got the Vega, and we've got the Monte Carlo, and we've got one more to go in with this batch. Alec at 15 already. This is actually off of the 1962 Nova Tudor hardtop that we did a video on a few weeks back. This is the rear quarter emblem off of that 62 Nova. This is a great looking piece. Reno at 20. This is about 6 3/4 from here to here. About 6 3/4. X-ray at 22. Eric at 25. The shield is about 1 7/8 inches. Sam at 27, so about 1 7/8 inches high on that part of it. And like I said, it's about 7 inches long. So there you have it, the Chevy badge bundle, kind of an intermediate Chevy badge bundle, the Chevy 2 Nova, the Vega, and the Monte Carlo. Come here. Mark at 30. Yes, it does say Nova 400, Chevy 2 400 on the badge. Sam at 32 is my high bidder. Is there anything left of that Nova? Bits and pieces. It's rough. Just bits and pieces. Mark at 40. We got to get this thing on the timer. We haven't even started the timer on it yet. Jason's already got them all, so everybody's safe from Jason. It probably is 62, 63 era. There's so many weird differences in all those first few years of Novas. There's all kinds of weird stuff about them. Mark at 40. Ticking along, coming up on the 1 minute mark. Mark's worried now. Mark's scared. 1 minute. Past the 1 minute mark, coming up on the 120. And we've hit the 120 mark. Coming up on that minute 30. And there she is, 30 seconds left. We've got about 30 seconds left. Mark at 40. Slide one of those in there for you. 20 seconds left to go. Michael at 44 on Facebook. Pete at 49. And that does it. Pete at 49. Get these taped back together so they stay together. And let's see. Man, there's a lot of cool stuff here. What are we going to do next? I got a little dinky cap here. It's kind of rough, but we're going to sell it anyway because it's super cool. I think this is early Ford. It's kind of banged up, but kind of the patina is what gives it the look. But what's great about it, of course, it's always great. It's a Hudson badge, but is this the way this is stamped in there with a super cool V8. This is a smaller cap, banged up, nothing you want to use on a car, but a cool display piece on this super cool V8 cap. Love the V8 font on these. This is, like I said, this is a smaller cap. Eric at 15 starting us off. Outside diameter on this thing is about 7 inches. Well, not even quite 7 inches. About 6 and 5/8. And then it's about 6 and almost 6 3/4. About 6. Let's call it 6 3/4 across here. On this super cool. It's banged up. It's scraped. It's beat up. It's got a cool look to it. Jason at 20. It is a metal back with like a stainless cap on it. 30 Ford, I believe. But just the V8 font is super cool on here. Jason at 20. Let's get this thing on the timer so we can keep moving along. Yep, timer is on. Inland Northwest Buick. Eric at 25. Ozark Fox is thinking 35, somewhere in that vicinity, I would say. Eric at 25. Like I said, it's banged up and beat up, but or unless you love a patina car, it would look cool on. It still has a good shine. Bill saying 32 or thereabouts. As we come up on the 1 minute mark. Eric at 25. As we hit the minute 20. Put a chain on it, you got a necklace. That's right, Mark. As we hit the minute 30 mark, 30 seconds left. Eric at 25 is our high bidder on the cool little V8 cap. $20 seconds left. Bill at 31, 10 seconds to go. And that does it. Bill Disc at 31. And then Eric came back at 32. Kenny just had a 2. I didn't know where he was going with that, but Bill Disc at 31 is who I had at the 200. While we're on caps, let's do a couple of let's do 2 more Addy caps real quick. And then we got some license plates, some more badges, and we got some cool stuff to go yet. So we'll do 2 more Addy caps real quick, and then we'll get to some of these other license plates and badges and things like that. Next one's one for our Mopar fans, and it's kind of a unique one as well. 60s era. There's an Auburn badge. Stainless, kind of a deep dish with the Dodge Fratzog or whatever they call it. I think they call that a Fratzog. It is a fairly deep cap. It is all stainless. A few dings and dents, but really not bad. Nice and shiny. We can see where it had some background color in it here that has faded out. Looked like it was kind of an argent. I don't know if these little sides pieces were painted or if they were just stamped in. It does have a heck of a shine, Leo, that's for sure. It is 10 inches across in diameter. And like I said, you can see it is a fairly deep cap. So Dodge of some sort, mid to late 60s, I'm guessing. That's what I'm thinking, John, mid to late 60s maybe. Lampshade, hat. It is deep enough for a hat. 69 Charger video. Jason at 15. 69 Charger video. I will probably try to get it up this week. That's right, Chris. It also would work as a good UFO. That's a good point. Never thought of it that way. I've got Jason at 15 on the little Dodge cap. Obviously, being a Mopar piece, Jason's got to be able to be in there. But it is a neat looking piece. Like I said, I don't know for sure what it is, but the Fratzog in it with the little serrations around the side, neat looking piece. We are live on the timer on this one. Let me get my notes caught up. Good cereal bowl. It is deep enough to be a cereal bowl. It is. Frisbee, probably not quite so good. It is a little deep, but it would work for a great cereal bowl. You need a new water dish, dummy? I'm disturbing her again. That would be a really big ashtray. That would be a really big ashtray. Oh, you decided to get up? You going to make an appearance now? 1 minute has passed. Jason at 15. A minute 20 has passed. Jason at 15. Jason may steal this one. Nobody's shooting at him yet. As we come up on the minute 30 mark. And we're there. About 30 seconds left on this one. And an annoyed gray kitty because we're apparently making too much noise and bothered her. 20 seconds left. Mark at 20. Ten seconds left. Mark at 20. Jason at 25. And that does it. Jason at 25 got that in at about 157. So, by the way, Jason, that's about where you need to be because that was like 157, 158 on my timer. So, just a couple seconds left before after that popped up. All right, let's get one more Addy cap in. This thing's really cool. I'm not sure the year on this, the exact year on this. I think it's 40s. And there again, it's banged up, scuffed up, scratches, dents, but it's cool and the font is awesome. On this, like I said, I think it's 40s era Pontiac. I love this. It's almost like a chopped look, like a real chopped, stamped out across their Pontiac. The paint appears to be original. Obviously, lots of scratches, dings, scuffs, nicks in the chrome. Eric started us off at 20. This is a chrome cap on a steel base. This is a steel base here. It is not rusted away on the back. It is a chrome cap overlay. Chris at 10. I've already got Eric at 20. Ford pickup dog dish that looks like a bolt or a gear. I don't think so. But kind of a neat looking piece. Eric is at 20 on this. Like I said, I think it's 40s era, probably maybe even late 30s. But it's got its age. It shows its wear. It shows its patina. It tells its story, but it's still got a cool shine. It's still got the red in it. Put a clock in. This one says Leo. Eric at 20. Let's get this thing on the timer. Keep moving along here. And we are live. Eric at 20. Mark had to put his sunglasses back on. Hey, dummy. Okay, I think I do know which one we're talking about now. Yeah, I'm with you now that you tell me that. Now you clear that up. Big job on which one what we're talking about there. Hey, you're getting a little close to the keyboard. Hey. That's the last pre and first post-war caps is number one. That could be 42 and 46, something like that. Eric at 20. As we come up on the 1 minute mark. 60 to 61 truck tags. Not tonight. I'll have to see what I've got for some other truck tags since you guys like those truck tags. And we hit the 120 mark. Eric's sitting there at 20. Chris bid on it, but Eric had him covered. And nothing since then. So I'm curious to see if Alex at 30. As we hit the minute 30 mark. Alex at 30. 20 seconds left. 10. And that does it. We'll mark that one to Alex at 30. Kat, you're really getting close to the keyboard. Yes, you are being a problem. Sebastian's on with us. Kat, you really mind? No, apparently you don't mind at all. All right, what else we got? We got some plates, some emblems. We got some cool stuff coming. Let's see, where do we want to go next? Let's do what do we want to do next? Let's catch another plate. We did one of these a while back, so I thought it would be a good time to throw one in here again. So it's been a while since we sold one. This is kind of a unique plate. It's a 1 year only deal for Kansas. Cat, what are you knocking off? There went the Grand Sport emblem. Hey, do you mind? Do you mind? No, you don't. I'll pick up my Grand Sport emblem after a while. The Kansas Centennial plate from 1961. We sold one of these a while back. These are such a cool plate. This is just painted. None of this is embossed. It's flat, but it's got the buffalo on it, buffalo, bison, whatever you want to call it. This one actually is kind of an error plate. It's a little off center. You can see the brown line is clear to the edge over here. It has extra gap over here. This is a standard size plate, 12 by 6, I believe. Yeah, basically your standard size plate. Weston's got one. A couple scuffs and scratches, but you got to remember it's 60 years old or over 60 years old. So kind of a cool piece. I've always loved these things. I've never sold any of them until I come up with a couple of extras. So we sold one a few months ago. I figured we'd throw another one out. Alec at 10. It is kind of bent up a little bit. Chris at 10. I've got Alec at 10 over here already. But it is a kind of yes, it is metal, Rico. I forgot to mention that. It is a metal plate. Just metal and painted, not embossed. Chris at 11. Let's get this thing on the timer. Chris at 11 on the Kansas 1961 Centennial plate. Rico at 20. Alec at 13 over here. I've got Rico at 20 over here. So kind of a unique piece, 1 year only deal. A lot of people had them in 61, but that was kind of it. It was kind of a one-shot deal, one and done on these 61 Centennial plates. As we come up on the 1 minute mark. And a minute 20 has now passed. Ozark says he's got a plastic one. I thought these were all metal. Minute 30 has passed. Maybe somebody did run a plastic ones. $20 seconds left. 10, Alec at 25. And that does it. Alec at 25 snuck that one in. Jess came back at 32, a little bit too late on that one. All right, what do we want to do next? Oh man, we got some cool badges and stuff. I just don't know what we should do next. We got some Mopar stuff. I got some Chevy stuff. Let's do a little Mopar badge bundle here real quick. The first one is kind of weird. It's a cool looking piece, but it's actually broken, but I've got both pieces. This is a late 50s Coronet. This is another cool font, but unfortunately it's broken right here on the end. The piece is there. So if you're going to mount it, and it is flat. It is flat, it is metal, it is stud mount. So if you're going to put this on a board or something, it's still fine. So it still would be a good display piece. Overall length on this is going to be, when it's put together, a little over 10 inches on the Coronet. Like I said, I think that's late 50s. The next piece, this is kind of cool. This is a real just block in your face Dodge. This has a little bit of a V to it. It's late 40s. This is chrome plated like steel. It is kind of a V-shaped, nice, bright, shiny chrome. It is stud mount, but it's just a block in your face, point blank Dodge. Chris says 10. Chris is starting us off at 10. The last one, this is off of 54 Dodge C-Pillar, and this is kind of unique. The coloring is faded, but it's got the Dodge logo in it. It's got some dirt on the back. This would have been, actually painted, but the color is faded. It's got some hairline cracks, but it's not broke out. Kind of a winged type badge. Five and a half by about 2 1/4. 5.5 by 2 1/4. David W. at 20. Randy had a 12 in there I missed. All three, one-shot deal. David W. at 20. The Coronet, but it is broken, but both pieces are there. Jason at 25. The block Dodge and the Dodge with a little plastic center on it. Jason at 25. That's right, Leo. You could recolor it. Let's get this thing rolling on the timer. On the Dodge badge bundle. Jason at 25. As we're coming up on the 1 minute mark, 1 minute has now passed. I've got Jason at 25. Yeah, appreciate that, Joe. I don't need any more numbers right now popping up. Minute 20 is passed. Jason at 25. Minute 30. 30 seconds to go on these. Jason at 25. $10 seconds. Nothing's happening. Everybody's kind of sitting there. Alec at 28. And that does it. Alec at 28. Perfect shot on that one. Come in at about 157, 158. Alec at 28. Okay, next badge. Let's go back to something for our Chevy guys. This is kind of a cool one. It's got a little bit of size to it. Kind of sticks out. This is a 49 trunk. These are really cool. You can repaint these on this 49 wing trunk badge. It's got some pitting in it. No breaks or chips. It is fairly flat. Stud mount, pop metal, chrome plated pop metal, the big bow tie in it. I usually paint the bow tie blue and this red area, or this back area where it's ribbed red is what I typically do with these, but you can paint it any color you wanted. Eloy at 20. Eloy's kicking us off at 20. Leo says sweet coolness. It is. That's right, Alec. You are making up for last week. So 12 and a half, actually about 12 and 5/8 by about 2 and 5/8. So a little over 12 and a half inches long. So it is a statement piece. About a little over 2.5 high. Nice bright chrome. It's got the kind of the crown. I'm going to call it a crown up here on top of it. Like I said, a few pits in it, but bright chrome. You repaint these areas in whatever color you prefer for your man cave or your garage, and it is cool. So Eloy at 20. Let's get this thing on the timer. As we tick along. Like I said, there's a little meat to this one. Stands out a lot bigger than some of these smaller pieces. So you got to have a place to put it, but it is cool, especially when you eat it. Chris at 21, especially if you repainted some of these areas to kind of match either your car or whatever color, your shop is or whatever. You see on the back, it is pop metal. It says GMC right on the back of it, original part. That's right, Johnny Z, you are just in time for a big Chevy badge. Chris at 21 is our high bidder, unless Johnny Z decides he wants to own it. 1 minute has passed. We've hit the 1 minute mark. This is a 49 car trunk, 49 Chevy trunk. And a minute 20 has passed. Eloy at 23. And we've hit the minute 30 mark. Chris at 24. 30 seconds left. John at 25. 20 seconds to go. Eloy at 25, but already had John. 15 seconds. Chris at 25. Somebody's going to have to do something. John's at 25. He was first. 10 seconds to go. Eloy at 26. Joe at 27. Johnny Z at 33. And that does it. At 159, Johnny Z came in at 33. Eloy came back at 34, but I had Johnny Z at 33. Yeah, that's right. Joe's Classics, I'm hit. Yep, that's about right. All right. Let's catch one more license plate, one more little cap, and a couple of cool badges, and we'll call it a night. This is a great looking plate. I love the colors on this one. White background. He sunk your battleship. Yeah. We did have an auction going that time, John. That's true. That's what makes it fun. And Alec popped up over here at 28 as well. So, but we had Johnny Z at 33. Had Michael and Alec over here at 28. So there was a bunch of people right in that area, all at the same time. But on to this next plate, which is a great looking plate. Good colors. The 1957 Kansas license plate, bright white with bright red letters. 2990 SF Stafford County, 2990. This still does say the Wheat State on the bottom. This is all metal, stamped in. Backside even still looks good. You can see where it's all embossed in here. On the 1957 Wheat State 2990 Kansas plate. I don't think it's new. Well, yeah, it might be new. I don't see any screw holes in it. This might actually be new. But it's got surface rust around the edges. Mark at 20. Had Chris at 10. I got Mark at 20. I don't actually see any, circles around the holes where it was mounted. But it's got some surface rust, so it could be new, just poorly stored, especially the way the back looks, because you can even see the streaks in the paint back here. So it could be, it may have never been used, just got into some moisture around the edges. That's right, John. Imagine that on a red and white 57 Chevy convertible. So it is a sharp plate. Mark at 20. Let's get this thing live on the timer. On the Wheat State plate. As we tick along, you see on the back, it's kind of got some surface rust. It's not rusted away. It's just light surface rust, but it does detract from it a little bit. But I do not see where it had screw holes in it, so it could be new, just was stored in a bad spot. Mark at 20 as we tick along and come up on the 1 minute mark. And 1 minute has now passed. Mark at 20. Reno at 40. And 120 has now passed. A minute 30 seconds left to go. Reno at 40. Ten seconds left. Reno at 40. Mark at 42, right at the 2 minute mark. Tweedly D at 43. That was just after the 2 minute mark, because Mark was dead on at like 2:00 when I saw that 42. So Mark at 42. That was another one of those. Go a few seconds earlier than that next time, Mark, because you didn't have any wiggle room. All right, couple more badges and a cap, and then we're going to call it a night and get on to the magazine. This next badge is pretty epic. I love this thing. I almost debated about selling it. I had 3. We sold one 6-8 months ago. I think Withrow got it because it's Mopar, so I assume Withrow probably got it. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful piece. I had 3. I was almost kept a pair. I decided I'll go ahead and sell one more. I'm definitely keeping one. There's no doubt about it that I'm keeping one. There's an Auburn badge for you. Because these things are just so amazing. They got such great color. Just everything about this badge is good. Nope, it's not a ram's head. It is the super cool, bright and colorful, red, white, and blue 300 badge. These things are great. I almost kept the pair. I had 3. I'm definitely keeping one. I sold one. I think Withrow got it. We'll sell this one now. But these things are absolutely awesome. I love these badges. Randy at 15. It is about 10 inches long. If I get the tape measure to hold it. Just almost 10. Just a tick under 10 by 3. Jason at 50 is our high bidder, I guess. Holy cow, they're pouring in. Just under 10 inches by 3 inches. This is a red, white, and blue plastic insert. It is a metal housing. This is all a metal housing stud mount. It's pretty flat with this red, white, and blue plastic insert and then metal letters laid over it. It had Adam at 20 over here and a whole slew of bids over here. But I think Jason at 50 is the high bidder. There's like 10 bids on this thing already. So I'm looking through it. But Jason at 50 is the high bidder. Let's get this thing on the timer and go with it. We are live on the timer on this beautiful 300 badge. This is like 63, I think, something like that. 62, 63, 64. But it's just an amazing piece. So, bright chrome. It's not pitted up. It's not broke. Studs are there. I mean, just a lot of good things about it. Jason at 50 is our high bidder as of right now. As we come up on the 1 minute mark. Yeah, I think Jason wants another one. 1 minute has passed. Yep, and then it all went to crickets. Johnny Z says everybody's locked and loaded. That could be it, too. A minute 20 has passed. For the way this thing started, I wonder what's going to happen here in about 20 seconds. A minute 30 has passed. 30 seconds left. $20 seconds left. Mark at 60. 10 seconds to go. Pete at 66. Alec at 65, but I had Pete at 66, and that does it. Pete at 66. That was close because Pete popped up with 66 and Alec hit it at 65. I mean, that was... All right, a couple more pieces of coolness. And then we're going to get on to the magazine. Next, we're going to do one of these little teeny tiny badges. An early badge. I don't know what the deal is with it. I don't know if it's an error or if it's damaged or been modified or what the deal is. But this is one of the old Whippet 6 badges. Now, these said Whippet on them right here. I don't know if somebody like scraped it off, sanded it off, cut it off. Was it an error? I don't know. We have the great shield, the awesome shield here, but it should say, Willys and should say Whippet, and it doesn't. So I'm not, Eric at 50. That's a good start. So Eric just started us at 50. It is pretty flat. It's tweaked a little bit. 2 1/8, inch and a quarter, 2 1/8, inch and a quarter. But like I said, it's got a beautiful shield to it. I don't know why the willies and the whippet are gone. No idea. Let's get it on the timer. Eric starting us off at 50. Yeah, it is weird. I just don't get it. It still looks cool. It's got the 6. It's got the shield here. The artwork and the ornamental work on this thing is absolutely amazing. Too small for a belt buckle, Leo. Or you could put it on a belt buckle as an ornament. Mark said he tried to buy one today, missed out on it. So Eric at 50 on the little Whippet 6 badge that doesn't say Whippet anymore, or supposed to say Whippet. Whether it didn't get it or whether it got sanded off, I don't know. And 1 minute has passed, 1 minute left. Hold it at an angle for us. Like that. Oh, another thing, the stud is, this would have had a stud. The stud is broke off the back of this. Minute 20 has passed. That's right, Tweety. It's awful quiet. Either Eric blew everybody out of the water and took them out right out of the gate, or they're reloading, because we are at the 1 minute 30 mark right now. 30 seconds left to go. Either Eric blew everybody out of the water or everybody is locked and loaded. Because as of now, we've got about 20 seconds left. Eric sees all the red dots on him. 10 seconds left. And that did it. You scared everybody off, Eric. Nobody wanted to mess with you. So that worked out perfect. You went in with what you thought it was worth. You scared everybody off, and nobody messed with you. Jeff from Ottawa's on with us. The promo, 61 Mercury. We'll show it to you real quick. All right, let's catch one more. Then we'll get on to the magazine. And this is the last one of these. We sold a new one a while back, but like we were talking earlier, we saw the Auburns sell at Mecum this week. We talked about them a little bit ago. But I've got a few Auburn pieces left. This is used stuff. I've sold all the Newell stock stuff. Doug really didn't have much used stuff laying around, so I bought the used stuff he had. I've just got a couple of pieces left. We're going to do one of them tonight, and we'll have one or two more pieces over the next few weeks. But this is about it for the Auburn stuff. So this is a little bit rougher. We sold a Newell stock one of these a while back. But so this is banged up a little bit. This is used, but there again, it probably has an amazing story to tell on this little Auburn wheel grease cap. Like I said, we had a new one of these. Doug only had a few used grease caps. I bought those too. Eric at 50. That's true, Guy the Car Guy. The Auburn stuff that I will sell. I got lots more cool Auburn stuff. The stuff I will sell, big difference. But it's got dings and dents, things like that. It is used. It's kind of scuffed up over here. Still has the threads in it. And yeah, maybe that's Eric's magic number. Maybe you just take care of everybody on it. It is about 4 inches across. So looking at it from the front, it's about 4 inches across here. It is an original one. You can see on the back, it's got, some dings and things like that from being on the car on the road. I mean, it's just, I don't know if it's It's got some silver on it. I don't know if it had like somebody painted part of it or tried to paint it. It's got some scuffs. I don't know if there's silver paint over top of the aluminum. Randy at 51. I don't really know, but like I said, it's just an old original with some scuffs and dings and things like that. I've got Randy at 51. Let's get this thing on the timer and roll with it. Yeah, somebody may have tried to restore it at some point, but there again, couple pieces left, but we're about done with the Auburn stuff. And, original. Dennis at 54, the original real deal Auburn stuff, just like we saw those cars go through Mecum Kissimmee. Auburn stuff is so cool. It's such a neat company. It's such a neat story. Mark at 62, that, it's just amazing. That's why I was so excited about working with Doug and now Adam Prey at the Auburn Cord Duesenberg Company, and have the opportunity to do the videos with them, meet those guys, and develop a very good working relationship with them. So Adam at 55 over here, but I've got Mark at 62 on YouTube is my high bidder at this point. As we're just about to the 1 minute mark. Mark at 62 is my high bidder as we surpass 1 minute. 1 minute left on the auctions tonight, the last piece of the night. That's right, Randy. Once originals are gone, they're gone. As we come up on the minute 20 mark. Minute 20 is passed. Mark at 62. And we've hit the minute 30 mark. Mark at 62 is our high bidder. Coming down to the wire. 20 seconds left. Eric at 65. 10 seconds to go. Tweety D at 63, but I've already got Eric at 65. Mark at 66. And that does it. Mark at 66. Whew, that one got interesting too. And Adam came in at 66 over here, just a few seconds too late. That's right, Shopcat. I don't think Napa carries these. So that was tight because I had Mark at 66 there, and then Adam came in at 66 over here just a couple of seconds too late. So it was nip and tuck on that one. But once again, had a great time tonight. Had a blast on the auctions. As always, they're a lot of fun. I appreciate you guys participating, being good sports, having a good time with it, and having fun with it, and being able to add some cool stuff to your collection. Joe said it was a fun auction night. Glad you guys enjoyed it. Everybody needs both badges after that. All right. Let's get on to the magazine. We got a cool magazine tonight. We had all the little mini magazines out of the viewer box. We did one of those last week. I've got a regular I got a different magazine we're going to do tonight, regular full size for the next 2 weeks. I don't want to do all those little mini ones back to back because they're all in the same 3 or 4 year window. So we'll mix them up. We're definitely going to get them all in because they are great. But tonight we're going to move up to the 70s again, if I can get to the magazine. Hey, Dum-Dum. You're in the way again. Do you mind? Do you mind? Can I have the magazine, please? Hey. Oh, now we're upset. Can I have this? Yes, you're still standing on it. Just because you're not laying on it anymore, now you're standing on it, doesn't make it any easier for me to get. Hello? All right. Okay, see, I need this because we're going to check it out on here, okay? So I'm going to take this. Is that okay? Is that acceptable to you? Yes, I disturbed you. Look, say hi to everybody. Meow. Meow. Yeah, payback for calling her a dum-dum, yes. Yes, you look extremely thrilled, don't you? She's being indifferent to everyone because we disturbed her. Okay, here. There you go. Yes. Okay. All right. Testing its lives. Yeah. All right. Let's get moving. 2, January of 1975, the 25th anniversary issue of Motor Trend. Had kind of a fold-out cover with a lot of the stuff that we actually like, that we actually do in our auctions. Some cool memorabilia, hood ornaments and badges. Shows like a display case of it as well. Some new car stuff on it. But let's get into it. We'll do the first half tonight. We'll do the second half next week. Then we'll get another one of those mini mags out of the viewer box. John loves the magazines. Guy loves the magazines. They're great. I'm glad you guys are digging what we're doing here. And as always, I'm always open for suggestions. You got better ideas. So, but let's get into it. Getting into the articles, starting off with, it's kind of weird that it all kind of happened at the same time when I found this article. But I think it was yesterday. I think his birthday was yesterday. On Big Daddy Don Garlits had an article about Big Daddy in the competition section. And I believe it said yesterday he turned 91 years old. I saw pop up on the internet. Big Daddy, still the man to beat. Seldom as an individual dominate a highly competitive field for very long. Movie stars age and fade. Rock and rollers soon find their sound dated. Football players wear out their knees and boxers get their brains pounded into tapioca. Even Southern politicians sometimes lose at the polls. It's no different in racing. The same inexorable verities of life that plague the fields of endeavor mentioned above afflict the racer. As if that weren't enough, he also has to contend with the possibility of sudden death. There is one man, though, who has defied the odds, the years, and those who would challenge the throne he's occupied for nearly 20 years. So pretty high, and obviously deserves to be held in pretty high regard. He actually used to race here back in the late 50s. In fact, he was at the KKOA show a couple years ago in Salina. And, of course, we got to he's in a deal where you walk up and say hi to him and mention we were from Great Bend. And boom, he immediately started talking about racing in Great Bend, Kansas. He remembered it like the back of his hand, racing here in Great Bend. So, let's see. Yep, he was the king, Leo, that's for sure. So, kind of interesting to see that. I was working on this with same day I seen it pop up that it was his birthday. 91 years young, to the great Don Garlits, and still out there making things happen. Has an amazing museum in Florida that I've been to. Awesome drag racing museum. Awesome collection of Fords. He's got some great cars. So Ozark Fox's dog got into his Pringles. That sucks. I don't have any Garlits tax. Do not have that. Yep, that's right. A veteran racer in 75. That's kind of crazy to think about considering the NHRA was founded in 51. So at that time, still a fairly young sport. But they did have a cool shot of him doing a burnout. Gal says he's got a car at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Museum as well. But as always, when we get into the motor trends, we always have the international report, which is several pages of different little blurbs about what's going on in the car world. So there's a few of those that we definitely want to catch. One little article, and the international report, like we talked about, has all these little different boxes of just a little different tidbits. There's 3 or 4 pages of it. We're just going to catch a few of them and check it. Old School's here with us. Kind of snuck in on me. Yes, you're back. She jumped down. Now she's back. But anyway, in the international report, Chrysler's super efficient engine. Now, we got to remember, we are in 1975. Yeah, Sam, if you're going to send a check, just the mailing information is in the description part of the video. Just put a note in there what it's for. If it's just auction wins, that's fine. Just put auction pieces. If you want a t-shirt, make sure you note it for t-shirt. If you want raffle entries, make sure you note that as well, so I know what it's all for when it gets here. So I know what you bought because I've got it written down if it's just auction pieces. But if there's other stuff in there, please let me know so that all the numbers jive. And if you've got any questions, Sam, you can give me a call tomorrow. Chrysler super efficient secret engine, which we got to remember, we are in January of 1975. Electronic ignition was fairly commonplace, but that was about it. And it actually wasn't on everything yet, but becoming more and more commonplace. The engineers at Chrysler Plymouth never did like the idea of bolting catalytic converters on its cars. Now a new project is underway at that firm, but officials are not saying much at all about it. The indications are that Chrysler believes the system will be superior to any alternate system presently being considered, and it's not just an emission system exactly. Actually, it says Garlitz was cool. The man who saw everything of the drags at least once. Garlitz is a car dude. Hands down, that's what he is. He's a car guy. No doubt about it. Chrysler's working on a super efficient engine believed to be capable of meeting present anti-pollution standards without catalysts, yet produce better fuel economy than those cars equipped with converters. But although some insiders at the company are hoping the system will be limited use in 76, it all hinges on whether or not changes will be made in the tough pollution control standards via the Clean Air Act. Okay? Yep, that's right. We got to remember, we're in 1975 right now. We're not in 2023. We are in 1975, January of 1975 to be exact, 48 years ago. And the plan at Chrysler is to develop a complete control of the engine, actually improving fuel economy in the bargain. Various approaches have been tried, including electronic fuel injection and the stratified charge engine. But Chrysler is looking to eliminate the muffler-like converters and other devices that hurt engine efficiencies while controlling emissions, such as spark retard, air pump, and EGR. Already, the company has put some engines into cars, test vehicles, with many different electronic controls. We suspect electronics is key to the program, which involves more than mere fuel control. It can also reportedly involve further advances in electronic ignition systems Chrysler pioneered. So, the guy with the car guy says 75 is first year for cats. So, there again. Now, today we know they still use cats, but they were really starting to lean on electronic engine controls. Now, we know today everything is computer controlled, but that's where they were going in 1975. They were hoping to get it efficient enough to not even have to use cats with it, and probably would have been it probably would have been like the lean burn they came out with in the late 70s. However, they never did get away from cats. That's what's so great about the international report, and that's what's great about a lot of the articles in this magazine, both tonight and next week, on what they were looking for in the future. That we're there again. We're looking back at this with 2020 hindsight, which is so great. The next part of that exact topic of 2020 hindsight. Once again, we're still in the international report. Several pages past where they've got all these little blurbs of different things. But this one I absolutely thought was definitely worth reading, definitely worth getting into and checking out. The next 2 decades, a view from the bridge. Wondering where the automobile industry is headed over the next 20 years? GM's president, Pete Estes, has some inside thoughts on the matter. So, there again, we're in January of 1975. What's the head of GM saying is going to happen in the next 20 years? Tony popped in for a bit. Glad you're here. For one thing, Estes feels the rotary engine will be a maybe power plant for the 90s. We know that didn't happen. ranking in priority below electric. We know that didn't happen in the 90s. Turbine and stratified charge engines. Let's see. Oh, ranking in priority below electric, turbine, and stratified charge engines. So they thought rotary was going to be behind electric, turbine, and stratified charge, which obviously we know none of those were in regular production in the 90s. X-ray, we met smog levels on a Catless 78Z with side pipes. Estes, president of the world's largest corporation, forecasts specialization in the auto market of the 1990s, saying that specialization will extend even to power plants. Will the conventional piston engine still be in use? I suspect it will be in many cases, but what about the rotary? It could be used in some applications by then, as will the diesel and wider car applications, the stratified charge engine and the gas turbine, probably in some cars, as well as trucks and buses. Electrics, of course, there will be electric cars used basically within central business districts. How many depends on how fast battery technology develops. And if it develops quickly enough, electrics might be widely used in suburbs as well as downtowns. However, we know now that that didn't happen until the last 10 or 12 years. So none of that happened in the 90s in any regular, normal type of situation. Estes went on to discuss all plastic cars with friendly fenders, which will bounce back into shape after being hit. Maintenance-free cars with sealed power systems. As an example, Estes reminds us that in 1955, a Chevy required service 49 times in 50,000 miles of driving. For 1975, we reduced that to 6, and our challenge now is to reduce that number to 0 maintenance by 50,000 miles. We know now today that still has not happened. They still can't control dirt and things like that getting into an engine. They've got to have air coming in. It's got to have dirt in it. By the 1990s, I believe some cars, maybe most of them, will have the hoods bolted down or welded down. At least they won't need the elaborate hood, hinge, and latch systems necessary now to service the engine. That was good. That obviously still hasn't happened. Probably never will happen. The widespread use of electronics on automobiles by then will contribute substantially to making this possible, which we do know they had a ton of that. By the 1990s, this little black box technology will have advanced to the point where mini computers will be an integral part of nearly every vehicle. They will be programmed to control ignition, air-fuel mixtures, and such things as emission control and anti-skid brake systems. In addition, they will monitor the entire operation of the car, including oil pressure, coolant temperatures, and possibly hydraulic levels and pressures in the braking system. If you should need to have oil or coolant added to the basically closed and sealed systems, the computer will flash a message on the dash telling you what service is needed. So that some of that came true. Obviously, they are completely computer controlled, but nobody has sealed hoods yet either. Let's see. Lots of comments popping up here. Let me get caught up. When are you going to do a Will It Run video? I don't know, old school. We probably should do one of those. Obviously, we're the 39 Cadillac we got to get running, but that's not one I just drug in. But a Will It Run video, we could try that for sure. Mark worked in a couple of power plants. Any owner's manuals for cars or trucks? I've got a lot of them, Doug. Let's see. The Nerf car never took off. No, I've never seen a Nerf car. Scott loves the Will It Run, but only watch one guy that does them. So many out there. Let's see. That's right. You couldn't drive a Nerf car in the rain. That's a good point, Joe. Its weight would quadruple. Shopcat says all of his stuff just starts right up. There's no drama. So I did on new Porsches. So I don't know what part of that was on new Porsches. X-ray, if you want to throw that up there. Seen GV's EV1 squashed by big oil buying the patent info. And I never heard of that, but that could be true. So there's a couple of interesting tidbits in the International Report in the January 1975 issue of Motor Trend. But let's keep on moving to the next article on the 1975 Golden Wheels Awards nominees. The final nominees for 1975 are 25-member Golden Wheels Media Panel. Automotive reporters from newspapers, magazines, and radio have been testing and evaluating for 2 solid months the 15 cars placed in contention by the Motor Trend staff. As a result of this massive effort by some of the most knowledgeable individuals in the field and automotive journalism, we are pleased to announce the nominees in each of the 5 achievement categories, as well as the candidates for consideration for the Car of the Year award. So, what are the final nominees for the 1975 Golden Wheels Award? Well, I would imagine some of these are going to surprise you, but we do have to remember we are in 1975. The nominees for Excellence in Engineering. The Mercedes-Benz 450. Well, you expect those to be well-engineered cars. Along with the Mazda RX-4 and the Chevrolet Monza 2+2 V8. That's the excellence in engineering. Excellence in styling. Once again, the Monza 2+2. The Fiat X19 and the Ford Granada were the finalists in the styling area. Vega, Gremlin, and Citation. No, haven't got any of those yet. Oh, you have to drop the engine just to change your oil filter on the new Porsche. You lift the hood, there's not even a cap. Nice. I probably won't be buying one anytime soon, so I don't really have to worry about it. Excellence in economy, the Dodge Colt GT, the Honda Civic, and the Volkswagen Dasher. Excellence in safety, Ford Granada, Mercedes-Benz 450, and the 1975 Lincoln Town Car. Well, I could see that Lincoln Town Car falling into the safety category because other than the gun, that was pretty comparable to a Sherman tank. So, best value, the Monza Chevrolet Monza 2+2, the Chevrolet Nova LN, and the Ford Granada. So, when you roll all those together, the cars that best combined in the 5 areas of achievement for the nominees for the 1975 Car of the Year are the Monza 2+2 V8, the Chevrolet Nova LN, the Ford Granada, the Mercedes-Benz 450 SE, and the Volkswagen Dasher. So, thought that was kind of interesting. Can't even tell the Granada and the 450 apart. Don't have any of them, actually. I've got a 75 Nova. I think there is one Granada out there. I have no Monzas. I have no Dashers, so nope, not much of those. So those were the Golden Wheels Awards, working up to the Car of the Year, which would be a new issue, a different issue a little later on. But the next article, we're going to catch the new breed of luxury compacts. I thought this was very interesting. They called these luxury compacts. So what would you think would be the luxury compact cars of 1975? I don't know if Granada windshields are rare or not. I've never tried. So, but I thought this was interesting that the luxury compacts for 1975, nope, not the Pinto. That's right. Some of the Granadas did have a 9-inch rear. Rabbit, nope, not the Rabbit. It didn't fall into the luxury compact segment either. But what they had, the Buick Apollo, the Buick Skylark, the Olds Omega, the Chevrolet Nova, the Mercury Monarch, the Valiant Brougham, and the Duster. Rusty's here with us. So nope, no Caddies X-Ray. Even had sideways shots of them with some specs on all of these. And there's the Duster, the Valiant, the Monarch, and another Nova. Yep, the Duster right there. It's right there in black and white. There she is. The luxury compact segment for 1975. There you guys have it. More information that you didn't know you needed to know. I guess, is that the best way you put it? More information you now know that you didn't need to know. That's right, Johnny V, a little fine Corinthian leather. One more article we do want to catch. And it kind of is along the lines of what we were talking about a little bit ago on the future. There's a lot of great future stuff in this magazine. That's why I love it. That's what's so great about these. Going back with 2020 hindsight, what they thought was going to happen. That's right. More useless trivia I'll never use. That's right, Randy. More information you didn't need to know. Pulling out the stops, a Motor Trend investigative projection for 1975 is what this article is entitled. In the future, automakers may require initial servicing of your car after 50,000 miles, whether it needs it or not. So obviously we know today that is still not true. John wants a Duster now. Dusters did make good drag cars. That's true. But it's kind of one of those things where thinking about that, and you think about it, you've still got dirt in the air. You still have to pump air through an engine because that's what an engine does. But you've got to see, we've got a good deal for you. Imagine owning a car you could drive for 50,000 miles before it required service for the first 3 or 4 years after such a vehicle left the assembly line. Tune-ups, brake jobs, chassis lubes, even oil changes would be service exceptions rather than the rule. Would that be worth an extra $300? How about $200? Whatever you think, you might do Phil Benton a favor and pass along your opinions to him. Benton is general manager of Ford Motor Company's customer service division, and he's about to spend a slug of his company's money on a national market research project to get an answer to questions like those. Now, obviously we know today that still isn't true, but they were sure shooting for it. AMC says you only have to have the engine on its 75 model car tuned every 30,000 miles. And even then, the company doesn't call for automatic plug replacement. That was a big deal in 75. Being able to get those kind of miles out of a tune-up, tune-ups were still pretty common in the mid-70s. Chrysler is guaranteeing the plugs on one of its 1975 engines for 50,000 miles. As long as you use unleaded gasoline, the company will also sell you an optional 5-year, 50,000-mile battery on any of its current models. Electronic ignition systems are now standard on all domestic cars, so there's no more points or condensers to replace. Radial ply tires are also standard equipment on virtually all of Detroit's 1975 cars, which means that most owners won't have to worry about replacing rubber for the first 40,000 miles. So that tells us a lot about where the industry was at in 1975. Electronic ignition, it was the first year they all had it. Tune-ups getting 30, 40, 50,000 miles out of plugs. Bias ply tires going by the wayside. This was all happening mainstream by the mid-70s. So this was a pretty big deal in vehicle maintenance in general. The old tune-ups, the gas stations doing tune-ups on a regular basis, that was a big, big business. And we were starting to see the beginnings of long-term on some of this stuff. However, definitely not to the 50,000 miles on brakes and oil changes and filters and things like that. Suspensions, however, a lot of stuff is non-greasable anymore. So they have improved the lifespan of that. So some bits and pieces of this stuff have come true, but definitely not all of it. And I don't see how all of it ever could, really. But there again, it's interesting to look at how they were looking at it in 1975 versus where we're at now in 2023. But what the maintenance production article does, that gets us to the halfway point in the magazine. So let's go back, check out some ads for the January 1975 25th anniversary issue of Motor Trend. That's right, Randy. It is taking out a lot of small repair shops, more dealer repairs. Scott says his wife needs new brakes with every oil change. Let's see. I'm trying to keep up with comments. I'm sure I've missed some, but I'm trying to keep up on them, guys. I apologize for whatever I've missed. But let's get to the inside cover, which we just saw how the outside cover flipped out. That means they've got an inside ad for Ford. Had a nice big layout. The Elite, the Thunderbird, the Mustang 2. Big full color fold out. Big, big deal for 75. We still saw a lot of black and white pictures. In fact, almost all the pictures we saw in here were black and white. So spending color on ads, they were stepping it up. I thought this was such a great ad. It's important to have a vehicle run for us. Our Delco battery has been reliable and started in good weather or bad. Color page ad. You say old Tao, that's a 10-year-old Chevy pickup, but in the Delco batteries ad. I don't know if that was a Fox body platform or not. I don't think it was, Joe. I don't think it was. Or it could have been the beginning of it. And while we're on the battery thing, another familiar name that we always have to check out when we get into these magazines, especially the 70s era stuff. Die Hard, Sears Die Hard. The Die Hard in Formula One. When Roger Penske runs the Grand Prix circuit, you can be sure he'll be trying for that extra advantage with a car that's loaded with some very well-kept secrets. The Die Hard battery. Obviously, we've talked about it in the past. The Sears Auto Centers, kind of sad. Almost, it's a thing of the past. It's sad that they're gone now. They were so commonplace. That's right. They were good batteries, Mark. It was a big deal. Sears Auto Centers, Die Hard batteries. Big part of the automotive world that's now gone. Up next, what a lot of people have been waiting for. I'm waiting for a car with reasonable size and handling. She and I are waiting for a car that looks good, feels good, but won't cost a ton. We're waiting for a car big enough to fit our family and our family budget. Well, Plymouth has it in their new Fury. Got the Fury sitting parked in front of the stables with the horses. Got the people talking about what they need in their next new car. That's right, actually, that was the only battery to have back then, for sure. Okay, Fox bodies came out in 78. That's what I was thinking. It was a few years later than that. Yeah, Advance bought the name. But obviously, after being involved with CarQuest, after Advance bought CarQuest, and knowing the quality that a lot of the stuff that Advance puts out, all they have is the name. Based on what I saw out of most of Advance parts, I doubt that it's a good Die Hard battery. They bought the name to put on their battery. That's right, Rusty. It was also the Sears catalog was also a big part of the outhouse. It was back in the day. Now, this is kind of an interesting ad because it's a Corvette ad. America's sports car. Introducing a more efficient Corvette. Well, efficiency was nothing anybody has ever cared about before in a Corvette, for sure. If you had an L88, you really weren't too worried about efficiency. Well, that's what they're advertising actually in this ad. HEI ignition, catalytic converters, early fuel evaporation, outside air carburation, extended service intervals, radial tires, talking about efficiencies on a Corvette. That's how bad things got in the 70s. They were trying to sell a Corvette on efficiencies, not performance, looks, or handling. So that definitely tells us something about the times, especially when we look at the new Corvettes and the way they're being promoted with the mid-engine layout. How the design is stunning. The performance is outstanding for cars that cost $80,000 or $90,000. They were literally marketing the Corvette on efficiency in 1975. This is another 2-page ad, not car related, but super cool that I just had to throw up there. Don't just make a living, make a life for yourself. Be someone special. Join the Navy. Recruiting was big back in the day, especially in print. So I thought this was kind of cool to pop up. Even had your information card you could send in. Get your full color poster free. See your Navy recruiter. Another full color ad. This is kind of odd being just a parts ad for the High and the Mighty. Gabriel Shocks. Who remembers the old Gabriel Hijackers? Right there, standing tall, loud and proud. Another iconic piece of the 70s, the Hijacker Shocks, kind of goes right along hand in hand with the Die Hard battery ad. We'll catch a couple of more ads, and then we will be wrapping up the magazine, start talking about the drawing, and get ready to wind things up for tonight. This next ad, though, there again, once again, not necessarily car related, but they've got some stuff parked in their driveway. Guy, the car guy, still has the sticker on a '67 Mustang, but he actually took those off of the car. John says the Shocks, memories with the Shocks. Yeah, I knew that Gabriel Shock ad was going to ring. Randy still has a new old stock pair of them. Well, I'm glad you guys are having fun with that, because that's the entire point of doing this stuff, is just for that reason exactly right there. Everyone had those. Yep. Everyone had the Gabriel Hijackers. And that's what's great about this stuff, is the memories it brings back when we throw this stuff up and you guys get excited about it. And that's the whole purpose of doing this. Gabriel Hijackers, boom, comments. Bringing back memories. And Randy's got to sit on the shelf still. Let's catch a couple more, and then we'll wrap this thing up. The next ad, once again, 2-page, opens up to 2 full-page spread in color. Be something different around home. This is an ad for the Air National Guard and the Army National Guard. With a tank and a jet. So this definitely caught your attention. Parked in the driveway of the suburbs. Mark had him on a '67 Camaro and a Die Hard battery. Gabriel Shocks and Thrush exhaust. That's another one, John, for sure. Michael put him on everything. He remembers he put him on. Yeah. Michael put him on everything, like Frank's hot sauce. That's what's awesome about some of this stuff. But the National Guard ad obviously caught your eye as well for the recruiting ad. That's right. I need a tank. I'm down with that. I'm all in with a tank. ASP mufflers. I don't remember ASP mufflers. Steamroller tires. Yep. We'll catch a couple of more ads, and then we're going to wrap this thing up. Even a disarm tank. F-106. Yep. Those, I love, as you guys know, I love planes. So, David W. First gen Econoline jacked up with side pipes. Yeah, that's right, Joe. Who wants a disarm tank? It's a lot more fun if you've got an arm tank. But the next ad we're going to catch, full page, black and white. Once again, we've seen a lot of stuff in this magazine about the future. 1975 was obviously a pivotal time in the automotive world, more so than even I realized. Of course, I was like 3 months old at this time, so it really wasn't clicking. Dad was working at the Buick Cadillac dealer, so he dealt with it every day. But I was 3 months old, so things weren't really clicking at this point. And what we were seeing at this point in time in 1975 with the beginning of emissions controls, the beginning of electronic engine controls, I didn't realize that that's when radial tires came into play so heavily. So even I'm learning stuff. I knew HEI was out, but I didn't realize that 75 was the first year that everything had HEI. The Future in 75 became Melee's cars. Yeah, but those cars are hard to find, and a lot of people think they're cool now. So Build this because if he's in, the tank will be armed. So Ozark remembers a kid blowing up an air shock at a gas station. Yep, blowing them up. Yep, that's true. This next ad, black and white, full page, read about GM's maximum mileage system. We call it our maximum mileage system because it represents the most advanced engineering and technology GM can offer in 1975 Chevrolets, Pontiacs, Oldsmobiles, Buicks, and Cadillacs. So, not a lot of pictures, just some basic stuff, but hitting a lot of the high points. In 75, I was the fat kid on the mini bike, says John. But some of the high points in GM's maximum mileage system. It can save you money. We compared the 75 GM cars using unleaded gas with similarly equipped 74 models using leaded fuel, found savings on fuel consumption. Of course, the amount of savings will vary according to car size and your driving and maintenance habits. How the catalytic exhaust converter contributes to savings. Unleaded gas can save you money on maintenance. The muscle behind the system, GM's HEI system, high energy ignition. GM spec tires. The steel belted radial tire is available on all 1975 cars. It offers better traction in the snow and wet plus lower rolling resistance. So, HEI ignition, unleaded gas, catalytic converter, radial tires, all of this stuff was coming into play in 1975 in a big way. So I didn't realize that. Like I said, I knew about HEI. Everybody knows about radial tires. I didn't realize 1975 was when all this stuff was hitting. So it's cool to learn that. I hope you guys have gotten something out of it too. So did HEI help invent the Excel Supercoil? That I do not know for sure. You know, the HEI, I've messed with a lot of cars with the HEI stuff, so I am somewhat familiar with that system. But it worked well. There's no doubt about it. Grant's coming out Tuesday. Okay, sounds good, Grant. Just give me a shout tomorrow. We'll get it all nailed down. See what time you're gonna be here. So, the car guy was born in '77. Cat savings until stolen. That's another good point too. So read about GM's maximum mileage system, full page ad, just talking about all of these new technologically advanced items that were coming out on the 1975 cars. When the 5 mile an hour bumper came, we knew cars would never be the same, which would have been in 74, I think. 73, 74, right along there. I think it was rolling. I think some got it in 73, some got it in 74, something like that. But we're going to catch one more ad, and then we're going to wrap this part up for the night. Laura's in 11 and 75. Mark's 73. One more ad that we're going to catch, though. And something that a lot of people don't realize. In fact, I've got one of these in the yard. And when I did the video on it a couple years ago, I mean, there was a bunch of people up in arms saying that I was wrong. I didn't even identify the car correctly. And a lot of people don't realize that they actually made this car in the late 70s. There's been a change in Charger. It's a whole new car. Yes, the Dodge Charger looked just about like a Cordoba. I've got one of these in the yard. I think it's a couple years newer than this one. This one would have been a 75, but it was on the Cordoba type platform. You know, they made the Charger on it. They made a 300 on it. They made the Cordoba. They made the Magnum. They made a lot of cool cars on this platform in the mid to late 70s. But a lot of people don't realize that they did make the Charger well into the late 70s on the Cordoba type platform. And then they made them as a small car in the 80s. That's true as well. It says old school. So something a little different. Change in Charger. It's a whole new car, and it was a whole new car. Throwing Sparks, a fan of the Magnum. If Robert was on tonight, Robert Siebers, my buddy with the U.S. Hubcap Collector page on Facebook, he is an expert in that area of those cars. Big Magnum fan, knows those cars probably better than anybody does. Shopcat even chased down a 75 Charger Daytona last summer, original paint. Great point, Shopcat. They did make those in a Daytona. They did make them in a Roadrunner. They did make a lot of special editions on this platform as well. They were tape stripe deals basically, but they did, they did make a, like I mentioned, they did make a 300 in it. They made a lot of cool stuff on this platform, but you never see them. What engine was in them? I don't know if it says or not. Probably a 360, I'm guessing, or maybe a 400. I bet they were probably mostly 360s. It does not say. But she says right here, you'll love the change we made. So take it from her. You'll love the changes in the new Charger. Yep, Dodge Aspen and Roadrunner. Yeah, they made all kinds of, Mark says 360s and 400s. That's what I was thinking. The car guy is looking for 75 Charger Daytonas right now. Jason, old car guy, 79 Cordoba is a 360 car. So I don't know if 440 was still available in a truck and a big car in 75, but I don't think it was in an intermediate. So Bill Wagon's got to bail off. See you Tuesday. Thanks for being here, Bill. We're getting close to being done anyway, so glad you made it for tonight. Because that is the last ad. We will catch the back half of the 25th anniversary issue of the January 1975 Motor Trend next week, and then we'll get back into one of the mini mags the following week. But there's more cool stuff coming. I did peek ahead. There's more cool stuff coming with the future in this magazine. That's true, Scott. They could have been 318s as well. That's a good point, Scott. So I hope you guys liked it. I hope you guys got a kick out of it. I didn't realize how important that pivotal year was overall in 1975. But John liked it. I hope the rest of you did too. Sterling Sparks has had a good time tonight. We got more cool stuff coming next week for the back half of the 1975 January Motor Trend. We should recreate the cover with some of our stuff. Yeah, that'd be a possibility too. So we'll catch the rest of it next week. All right. I would sit the magazine over here, but I can't because somebody's in the way. There, I'll just sit it on you. Here, I'll take a picture of it and show it to you. Okay. There she is. I just stacked it on top of her. Big job, liked it. Glad you guys liked it. 75 is still crucial if you live in California and like older cars. Yeah, yeah. I have been hearing that. That's true. That's another good point, Kyle. I had not thought about. But yeah, that's a huge deal in California, that 1975 year is. Autograph the magazine and auction it off. But anyway, let's catch the raffle. Like I told you last week, we're going to skip on some of the trivia on some of these nights just because it's just another piece I've got to try to do, and I'm more worried about some of this other stuff. And it's just another piece I've got to try to keep straight. So we'll try to squeeze a few in here and there, but going to kind of start skipping some of the trivias. But we definitely want to talk about the raffle. That's right, X-Ray 75 Starsky and Hutch era. For January, we know now that our good friend Randy custom made these pieces. Randy, trained by the masters in pinstripe, both Ed, Big Daddy Roth, and Von Dutch. Randy worked hand in hand, side by side with both of them. That's where his training came from. He made these for the show. We're going to raffle them off. This one, and he's got another piece coming. 3 names coming out of the can are going to get a custom, one-off, hand-painted by legendary pinstriper Randy, who hangs out with us, which is great. So, he's sending me some more. He sent me pictures of them. Now, there's going to be one problem. And it ain't going to be my problem. It's going to be one of your guys' problem. It's going to be somebody's problem in here. Because the next piece he's sending is also epic. So, and obviously when we pull the first name out gets first choice. Well, you're going to have this, that, or the other one that's coming. And then you're going to have to pick. And then the second name's going to have to pick. The third name out of the can has got it easy because you're going to get the last piece. All 3 pieces are absolutely outstanding. So And a lot of you guys are commenting how much you like them, so, which is cool. And if you do need some custom work for your particular vehicle or whatever, Randy can do it. Just get a hold of him. This is what he does. He's a professional sign painter, literally trained with the masters. Who got in this week? Tweedly D. Now, there's, like Mark, I've got your envelope, but it's on the shipping bench, so you're not in here. You'll be in next week's packet. I went over who got in the first week. That's this packet here. This week, who is in Tweedly D? Highlander. Big Job. Bill Disk. Reno Holland. Mike Barger. Jason Withrow. Kenny Peterson. Lee Carr. And Alec Blanchett. That's who got in this week for the raffle. Big Job. Randy's a great sign painter. The only thing I can draw is flies on a hot day. Yeah, I can't even do that. I can't even draw a straight line with a ruler, like I said. So, but all those names are in here as of right now. They're already in there, ready to go. We're going to give this away February 5th, so we've still got a couple weeks to go on this one because the end of the month falls right smack in the middle of the week. So be sure you are in the big Buick oil can. We may do I don't know if we'll do a supplementary drawing one of these nights or not. We don't know. I don't know if we'll grab something out of there one of these nights. I bet you guys are getting thirsty. Got these laying right here. Ain't paying no attention to them. So you'll definitely want to be in. This is the only time he's making these. He can make you any sort of custom work you want. These are specifically for the raffle this month. That's all he's going to make. This one's mine, but I got another one that he made for me. This one goes in this spot right here. Specifically made it for this area. So it's going to be cool. It is awesome. It is epic. It is one-off pieces, hand done by our own legendary pinstriper, Randy. So I'd love to see Randy paint some cool stuff on truck doors. I'm sure he can do all of it. I mean, he can whip this stuff out. And that's pretty amazing. Anyway, a couple more things to catch, and we're going to be about done for the night. I did not pick up any cars this week. I got to get some stuff done this week, but I didn't drag anything in last week. Never had time to go after anything. I did go through my list, though, and I've got 40 that I need to pick up that I own. So I'm down to 40 cars and trucks that I've already written checks for that I haven't picked up yet. So we got to get on some of that, so we will be having some stuff coming in. What's coming up on videos next week? We've got like I said, the engine is sitting in the Cadillac. I'll probably go ahead and put that together. Like I said, it's not ready to fire up yet, but it's in there. But I've got several clips of that to get it to that point, so I'll probably get that one up. I've got more Pioneer Village. I've got more new inventory. Still got a little bit of AC Auburn Court Duesenberg stuff to share with you. So all that stuff coming up as well. So anyway, stay tuned for some of that. We will do Toy Tuesday live at 7 o'clock Tuesday evening. If you did not catch last Toys Tuesday on the Pioneer Village signs, if you like Pioneer Village, you've got to catch the sign video from last week. Kenny's bailing off. I got my signs from Pioneer Village cleaned up. If you did not see any of that from when we went up and got them a couple of months ago, and then also when I finally got them rinsed off, and we got the video done on those last Tuesday night on Toy Tuesday. Original billboard highway signs for Pioneer Village, one from the 50s, one from the 60s. So one that's 60 years old, one that's 70 years old, hand cut, hand painted billboard signs for Pioneer Village. You don't want to miss those. Check those out. We've still got all that other stuff coming up. We'll do some more cool stuff on Toy Tuesday this week. I've got some toys we haven't looked at yet. So hopefully we'll get some of those squeezed in. We'll get some of these other videos up this week as well. And hope to see everybody back here next Sunday night. Same time, same channel for Sunday Night Live Chat. That'll pretty much do it for us. I'm got to the end of my list. I'm at the bottom of the sheet. This week's episode, number 147, is done for the night. Now, kind of crazy to think about. We're coming up on episode number 150. That's crazy. Mike says, thanks for another fun night. Appreciate that. Looks like raffle tickets in for next week. Yes, Mark, your stuff will be in next week. After I get your stuff packaged, then that envelope will come in here and go into the can. So, yep, you will definitely be on the list for next week on raffle tickets. And number one says, great episode, even without him winning. And actually, I do got a pile of stuff here for you, number one. If you want to send me your mailing address, I do need to get this. I got a couple of handfuls of stuff from you from the last few months of trivia that I need to get sent to you. So I do need to get that off to you. If you can get me your address, I'll get that boxed up and get it out of here the next week or two as well. That's right, Throwing Sparks. Another way to put it. Same cat time, same cat channel. Everybody else is signing off, it looks like. John says, fun show. He's going to go out dig out some of his old magazines. Perfect number one, not a problem. With that, I guess that's it. It's time to wrap up and close up episode number 147. As always, I appreciate you guys swinging by. I appreciate you guys making this what it is, which is a chat, not me sitting here in front of a webcam. It is a chat with all of your knowledge and all of your information contributing to it, making it what it is. That's what makes it great. That's what makes it awesome. Yeah, Johnny Z missed half the show, showed up at the right time. Yeah, Tweety D's going back to the here's Chad. Yeah, the Johnny Carson thing still baffles me. I'm really glad that you guys appreciate that and actually compare me to Johnny Carson, because that guy was so amazing for what he did. I'm glad you guys had fun tonight. I've been completely off all night. I'm wore out. I'm sore from climbing up and down and around in that Cadillac. So I've had a pretty long day, and I'm beat tonight. So I was way off tonight, and I'm glad we still got through and had a good episode, because I know I'm tired and I didn't feel right, but we got it done and got through it. So I'm glad you guys had a good show and thought it was good, because I didn't think it went all that great on my end, just for the way that I'm feeling right now. But I did know when I got up this morning that I'd been under that Cadillac, around that Cadillac, over that Cadillac. I could feel it when I got up this morning. So yeah, I made it through. That's true, Guile, the car guy. But it was long for me. I do know that. So anyway, John says it gets worse. You want to see him getting up off the garage floor. Yeah, and we've got lifts, but all the lifts are full. I've still got the Super Cab Ford on the lift here. Dad's got a 71 Cutlass convertible on the lift at his shop. So there's an Auburn badge for me. Thanks, X-Ray. Appreciate that. Just let us know you're not feeling the best. We can always change tonight. It's all right. We got through. Like I said, I'm just wore out, and I knew I was wore out going in. But we got it done. That's all that matters. We got through it. You guys all seemed to have a great time. Thought it was a great episode. So that, or you're just telling me that. Kenny says it was fine. Well, thanks. I appreciate that, because I knew I definitely felt off throughout it. But we had fun. We made it through. And hopefully we'll have some more. Hopefully with that caddy fired up here sometime in the near future. But at least the big, heavy stuff is done. The engine, transmission are together in the car, all that stuff. I just knew when I got up this morning that we had done it yesterday. So real quick, I kind of twisted my back up like 5 or 6 years ago. I fell off the loader, and my foot slipped getting out of the loader. And I had one foot on the step 40 inches up and one foot on the ground. That spot of my back, I knew this morning that I had kind of pushed it a little too far on the Cadillac yesterday. But Big Job says, here's to you, Johnny. Well, thanks. I appreciate that. I like I said, it amazes me that you guys hold what we do here in that kind of a high regard. I do try to put effort into it. I do try to put together a good quality product, which is why I felt bad about being off tonight. But we got through it, and you guys had fun. So Sam just ordered a forward lift for his new shop. Yeah, they're great. Lifts are super handy, except when they're all full. But anyway, that being said, we'll wrap up episode number 147. We sure hope to see y'all back here next week for episode number 148 of Sunday Night Live Chat. Have a great week, everybody. And hope everything goes smooth for you. We'll see some of you Tuesday night. If you stop by for Toy Tuesday, we'll get some more cool new videos up this week. And hope you can all make it back next Sunday for Sunday Night Live Chat. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for your support. Thanks for making this what it has turned into. It's all of our knowledge that makes this such an amazing thing. Thanks to all of you. We'll see you next Sunday night.